All right.
You unmuted.
Homeowners in the DFW, listen up. Have you ever considered owning your own power by going solar? Well, my name is Dylan Olson with Infinity Solar USA. We are a locally owned and operated company to the DFW. We've helped thousands of homeowners become their own power company by going solar. We take pride in providing an amazing solar experience. Thanks to Champion Sports Radio, we've created an exclusive discount just for you. To get a free solar savings report, go ahead and give us a call at 469-868-4164. Infinity Solar USA.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Do you feel your home is too humid and slightly musty? Do you have that room or side of the house you don't use because it's too hot or too cold? Do you have family members struggling with health issues or allergies? Then contact Energy Attic and transform your living spaces by transforming your attic. Energy Attic uses a 3-part energy reduction system to make your home or office as comfortable and energy efficient as possible, saving you money, reducing your carbon footprint, and improving indoor air quality. Who doesn't want to save money, breathe cleaner air, and sleep better? Energy Attic helps improve your home climate control, reduces those cold and hot pockets, makes it more comfortable throughout, and saves you up to 40% on your energy bill. It's fast and easy to schedule your free Energy Attic audit. Simply visit energyattic.com and fill out the form. Virtual appointments are available as well. Now is the time to get your project started. So let Energy Attic show you how much you can love the comfort of your home. energyattic.com. Attic solutions to transform your life.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
It's Friday night. It is football time in Texas following a season-opening win against the Waxahachie Mustangs. The Coppell Cowboys return to Buddy Eccles Field for their home opener and a tough test against the Waxahachie Indians. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Coppell Cowboy Football on Champion Sports Radio. I'm Tom Dewar. Dakota Burke will join me in just a moment. Welcome to the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show. Get your free Energy Attic audit by going to energyattic.com. Your countdown to kickoff time stands at just under 30 minutes. Time now for your pregame headlines, brought to you by Frost Bank. New team, new lineup, similar result in Week 1 for the Cowboys. A 28-20 win over the Waxahachie Mustangs. New Cowboy quarterback Carter Zingelman led the offense with precision. He scored 3 rushing touchdowns himself, and while the defense was called upon to make some key stops in key situations. There was a lot to like in that Week 1 win, but that's not to say everything went smoothly. There are still a lot of things to clean up, and we'll talk about that with Cowboys head coach Antonio Wiley in just a couple of minutes. Tonight, the Cowboys face a big pre-district test, the Waxahachie Indians, a team that rushes the passer well and creates havoc on defense. And oh yeah, they have a pretty good quarterback and some talented weapons around him as well. And one more thing, there are some storms that could move through the DFW area this evening, and those could impact the pace of play here tonight. We'll keep an eye on the radar and keep you posted. All right, countdown to kickoff time now stands at about 26 and a half minutes. Time to welcome in Dakota Burke. Dakota, let's start with a quick backwards glance to last week at Waxahachie. Cowboys offense looked like the offense we've come to expect, and at times, so did the defense. So what did you like and what didn't you like about the way the Cowboys played in Week 1?
I think what I really loved was the offense, and not just like, oh, they scored enough points to win a game, and that's easy. But they didn't get a lot of penalties offensively. they didn't allow a sack, and to my recollection, not even a tackle for a loss, and that's credit to offensive line and, everybody doing their job. Carter was upright unless he took off running. 3 rushing touchdowns. Didn't throw one, but hey, he gets 7 points up. Somehow, some way, I'll take it any day of the week. So offensively, it looked like a team that has been around for a couple years and has great chemistry. Defensively, I liked how they started. The penalties got in the way in the second half. You'll hear more about that later. But a couple 15-yard penalties here and a couple more there, and some drives got extended. So that needs to clean up, especially with a game tonight.
Waxahachie, you talk about defense. They come in here with a 1-0 record themselves. They thumped Ennis last week in a long-standing rivalry they have with them. It's been a bit one-sided, largely due to their defense. And so this is going to be a big test for this young Cowboy team tonight.
Yeah, this is, last year I circled this game as an important one, and it was. This is even more important maybe than last year. A whole new squad going up against a team that is experienced. Waxahachie in District 11 6A, that's the district of death. Duncanville, DeSoto, Cedar Hill, I mean, you name it. And Waxahachie, dare I say, the way things have gone, they could win that district. And I know that's a bold statement. You have to beat Duncanville, which that's no easy task, but they can do it. A lot of experience on this team coming back, starting with Jerry Meyer III at QB. We'll talk about him a lot. Cohen Brown, wide receiver. You'll hear that name a lot. Defensively, whether it's the line, the linebackers, the secondary, there's key players everywhere on that defense. So this team is stacked, and they are experienced.
So one of the big storylines that came out of the Cowboys' win last week was the play of Carter Zingelman. We talked about it a moment ago. You just talked about the 3 rushing touchdowns. He looked poised. He looked confident, command in the win over Saxe, and he's starting to get some of those honors he's starting to earn and deserve.
Yeah, he was Offensive Player of the Week, Star Local Media, Performance Course Player of the Week. I mean, if there was a thing where you were allowed to vote on him for, he pretty much won the vote regardless. So he got a lot of awards, and I think a lot of that, not to take anything away from him, I think a lot of that was, this kid's pretty good for a first-timer, huh? So he got the awards he deserves. He'll win a lot more, I'm sure, as time goes on. But a great first debut for Mr. Zingelman, and the future is bright with him.
Hey, not bad for your first varsity 6A start. Countdown to kickoff time now stands at 23 minutes, 44 seconds, and when countdown to kickoff continues, we'll hear from Cowboys head coach Antonio Wiley, and then Dakota and I are going to play a fun little game.
Ooh.
2 truths and a lie. Don't miss it. The Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show continues in just a moment. Welcome to Bliss Orthodontics, where you'll experience the Bliss difference. Dr. Edau at Bliss Orthodontics is your leading Coppell orthodontist and has been serving the community for more than a decade. Bliss Orthodontics treats children and adults and can help you with braces, Invisalign, and even those affected by sleep apnea. Dr. Edau has more than 25 years of experience and has been named Best Orthodontist in North Texas by D Magazine. Bliss Orthodontics actively supports our local schools and sports teams, and they're a proud sponsor of Coppell Cowboys football. You can find them online at BlissOrtho.com.
Living in North Texas provides all of us with an amazing quality of life, including an affordable cost of living, outstanding schools, unbelievable cultural opportunities, and the best sports around. But we also have to put up with severe storms. Hi folks, Champion Sports Radio President and Founder Thomas Lee here to tell you when a hail or windstorm comes through your neighborhood, do what we did and call Greenleaf Roofing. Greenleaf Roofing is a fully insured, locally owned and operated company built on the values of amazing craftsmanship, affordable options, and innovative solutions. And they are proud that those values still stand as a foundation for their business today. And did I mention Greenleaf Roofing has 24-hour emergency service available? It's nice to know Greenleaf Roofing will be there in a hurry if you need them. After the first experience, I became a customer for life and have used them on 3 different homes. But don't just take my word for it. Learn about the Greenleaf Roofing difference yourself by calling them at 972-379-9109 or go online to greenleaf-roofing.com to find out how you can get your free quote. Greenleaf Roofing, the #1 choice for all your roofing needs.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting. It's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Each year across the United States, young lives are lost to sudden cardiac arrest, and our communities are left to pick up the pieces. That's what happened in April of 2009 when Zachary Schraw lost his life to an undiagnosed heart condition after collapsing suddenly during a Plano East Senior High School football practice. After his death, Zach's loved ones knew it was time to take action to protect young hearts across North Texas from this silent killer. Since its establishment in 2009, Living for Zachary has impacted thousands of families by providing heart screenings for ages 12 to 22, donating AEDs to youth-based organizations, and training community members in the use of CPR, all with the goal of saving lives. Sudden cardiac arrest doesn't wait, so we can't either. Schedule your child's heart screening today, apply for an AED for your organization, or make a donation that could change a life forever. Together, we can give our children's hearts a second chance. Join the movement to save young hearts at livingforzachary.org today.
Well, welcome back to Buddy Eccles Field, and welcome back to the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show, live from the Champion Sports Radio broadcast booth. Cowboys home opener and senior night. And breaking news from here, we mentioned a minute ago that the weather could play a factor in this evening, and it already has. We have just entered a lightning delay. There are some pretty dark clouds if we look off to the north side, and we took a look at the radar, and there is a significant storm cell that is to the northwest of us up in Denton County right now. So really no surprise that we are going to enter a lightning delay, and so we'll stay with you here for a few minutes and figure out how long it is until we are ready to kick off. The scoreboard would tell you that we will be kicking off in 19 minutes and 34 seconds. However, the lightning delay is the counter is now at 23 minutes, I think. You have the binoculars over there.
You know what I do? I probably should put them to use.
Resources. So we'll keep you updated on that. But while we have a couple of minutes, let's take a listen into our conversation this week with head coach Antonio Wiley. And, you know, Dakota and I talked about it a couple of minutes ago. There were a lot of takeaways from last Friday night's win. The offense seemed to gel quickly. The defense was able to make plays. But that was our view from the broadcast booth. How about the view from the sidelines? And that's where we begin our conversation with head coach Antonio Wiley.
Hey, Coach, thanks so much for joining us here pre-game as we get ready for Waxahachie. But let's step back to last Friday night and certainly an impressive Week 1 win with a roster that is still developing its chemistry. What are some of the things you took away with or from last Friday night and some of the things you wanted to work on this week in practice?
I think we got off to a fast start on both sides of the ball. I think our offense played well. I think, for a first start for a lot of those guys, I mean, when you're talking about you're bringing in a total of, 11 new starters on that side of the ball, and those guys find a way to jump up, put us up in a position where we're up 21-0 late in the second quarter. I think that's a tribute to those young men coming out and being prepared. Now, we saw some of the youthful woes that reared their ugly head in the second half, just with a few mistakes here and there, and then obviously our penalties. We've got to clean up that act if we plan on being a good football team, because good football teams don't prolong other people's drives by picking up a bunch of 15-yarders.
One of the things that I think jumped right off the page to us last Friday night is it felt seamless from last year's offense to this year's offense. The offense really felt in sync from the jump. And what did you see on the sidelines that you liked?
Just sitting over there watching it from the sidelines, it looked, what probably stood out the most to me is watching our sophomore quarterback come in, a young man that moved in the spring and hadn't had as much time in the program and within the system, take off like he's been here since he was an 8th grader, and just grow and watching him go out and command his offense for the first time. And also, hats off to my offensive staff. They do a great job week in and week out, put together a game plan and trying to figure out a way for us to give our kids a chance to be successful.
A couple of things I want to unpack on the offensive side of the ball quickly. First of all, you bring up Carter Zingelman's performance. There were some shades and some things that brought Edward Griffin and last year's offense to mind again. But as you describe his ascension into this role, how difficult is it to step into the shoes of someone who was successful before you? How difficult is it to step into a program that you may not be so versed in and do it at his age and do it and have the success that he had? What makes that possible for someone like him?
Man, I think preparation. I watch the young man come in every day, get extra video, ask the questions that need to be asked. And if there's any gray area, he tries to earn it out throughout the week. And I think just watching his level of maturity, he doesn't carry himself like a young guy. You'd think he'd been a varsity player for, the last 2 years. But he's mature beyond his age, and I think that's what helps him handle these moments. Because, you talk about the shoes that he could be stepping into. And it's tough to say he's stepping into anyone's shoes, because at the end of the day, you can't fill those shoes. Edward left a void in this program that I think Carter's going to fill it in his way, not in Edward's way. You know what I mean? Our offense is gonna be productive, but it's gonna be productive in a different model, because it doesn't look the same way it looked when Edward was running it, but it's still gonna be a very productive offense.
Well, he certainly got off to a good start last Friday night. One of the other things I think that jumped out to us was, going back to something that you talked in our conversation last Friday, and that was, we're going to need to be a little bit more scripted. We may not be able to improvise as much. We started to see a little improvisation here and there as the night went on, and some of the plays that Carter and the playmakers had to make. What kind of confidence does that give you going into week 2? And does that kind of accelerate where you feel like you can go offensively?
See, I think when we talk about improvisation and how you can do things, I think in action improvisation where Carter, a play breaks down, he scrambles out, gets outside the pocket, and makes a huge play, that's God-given talent. That's an ability that young man has, he's been blessed with, and nobody can take that from him. When I start talking about ways for us to make changes and throw curveballs at people, that's in the scheme and in the game plan. When we start talking about how exotic do we want to be, how exotic can we be with a bunch of young guys, and I think the jury's still out on that. I think we know that they can make plays when things break down, but I think we need to figure out how much we can throw at our kids mid-game and see if they can execute it.
Let's talk about some of those in-game adjustments and week-to-week adjustments and what you want to see from your defense tonight.
We just need to play clean football. Waxahachie is a great ball club, and we can't go out helping them. I mean, they don't need any help. They're plenty talented. A Division I quarterback, a couple of really good receivers. One's committed to UT. And, when you have those kind of guys on the opposite sideline, you can't go out and help them. You can't go out and prolong their drives with untimely penalties, pre- and post-snap penalties, those types of things. We have to go out and play clean football and find our way to get off the field on third down. Like I always say, the money downs matter. That's third and fourth downs. If you can get off the field on those, you'll have a good chance to win a football game.
You hinted at some of them there, but your keys to come away with a win tonight.
Man, as usual, we're chasing 1-0, and how do you get that next 1-0? You get it by playing clean football. I mean, we got to keep Carter on his feet. They have a really good pass rush that could be a nightmare for us if we don't find ways to neutralize that. Their backers are really good. They got a really talented secondary. Their defense is really strong, and I think their offense is just as strong, just in a different way. So I think we have to play clean football, and we have to go out and execute at a really high level. And if we can do those things, I think we'll have a good chance to get our next 1-0.
All right, Coach. Thanks so much for your time tonight. Good luck tonight, and we'll look for a 1-0 this night and 2-0 as we go into next week. But we got to get there first. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was Coach Wiley in our pregame interview, and our interviews with Coach Wiley all season long. Brought to you by Bailey Orthodontics, offering customized treatment for every smile in Coppell. Learn more about Bailey Orthodontics at coppellortho.com. So the latest from here at Buddy Eccles Field. Here on senior night, the home opener for the Cowboys, and it'll have to wait just a little bit longer. The lightning delay is still in effect, and we keep seeing bolts of lightning that pop up off to the north. And so it has been, the counter has been reset several times, and so we are still in a holding pattern. But while we are holding, we can certainly kind of break down a little bit about what we talked to Coach Wiley about on the phone call there. And, a lot to like, as we talked about just in the open to the pregame show, a lot to like in that Week 1 win. Week one is not always the best indication of how your team's going to perform, but I still think there were a lot of encouraging signs we saw there, especially when it comes to how the offense was able to execute on the game plan.
Yeah, I think if you ask any coach, week one is kind of the week where you expect things to be a little rough on all sides of the ball. There's going to be some flags thrown just because, whether it be nerves, whether it be just anticipation, combination of a lot of things. It's not always the most clean week of football, and every coach expects that. But again, offensively, it looked as good as it could possibly look. Again, Carter was upright the whole time. The only time he wasn't is when he took off running to, dive for a first down, get in the end zone. Wasn't tackled for a loss, wasn't sacked. No one was tackled for a loss in my recollection. So, that offense, again, I said it earlier, it looked like a team that had been gelled together for a couple years and had experience. And the offensive line, they don't get enough love, but those guys up front did a heck of a job. Defensively, that first half, the first half of Coppell football in 2025, that first half looked unbelievable, honestly. It looked like a team that just was rocking and rolling, ready to go. There weren't a lot of penalties, and that second half happened. And it happens. And you can't, week one, hey, it happens. When this game does eventually get started, the wind has picked up drastically here. Flags are very much upright as we speak. But once this game does eventually start, this is not a team where you can allow – they don't need help. Let's just say that. They don't need your help to get free yards because it's a very efficient team on all sides of the ball.
And that's a good point as the lightning keeps firing off to the north of us here, and that lightning delay counter keeps jumping back up to 30 minutes. But you raise a good point that this is not a team, it's a Waxahachie team that you, last year, when Coppell played them for the first time ever, it was one as soon as the schedule came out that you had circled, and I know you had circled again this year. Last year, if we step back to that 2024 matchup, the first time, again, that these two teams had ever faced off, that was a thriller. Down at Waxahachie, the Cowboys went down early. Nothing was working for them offensively in that football game. They trailed 14-0 at halftime, and then Eddie Griffin and the offense woke up in that second half, and the Cowboy defense made some big plays. Game went to overtime, and it was a 28-27 Cowboy win, and ended on a pass breakup by Scott Fishpaw in the end zone. But we know from that there is a lot of talent on this Waxahachie team, and there is a lot of returning talent. Not only the starting quarterback in Jerry Meyer, who is a very talented individual, but the defense as well, and there's a lot of returning talent on this defense. So to your point that you made a moment ago, but the Cowboys don't need to help out this Waxahachie offense. It's an absolutely valid point, and they move the ball very well, very efficiently, and very effectively down the field. And so I think it'll be a really good test on both sides of the football for the Cowboys tonight. And that's exactly what you want from these pre-district games. These are not supposed to be cakewalks. These are not supposed to be, gimme wins to pad your stats. You want this team. You want your team to be absolutely as battle-tested as possible. And I think that's what we're seeing from head coach Antonio Wiley now in his fourth season with the Cowboys. And it is that by the time things get real during the district, and by the time you get to that postseason, you are well entrenched in your system, and you have your footing and know what to do in those moments. There's nothing you haven't faced before. Yeah. And I think that's why you've seen this team have so much success in the postseason the past 2 years and take the eventual state champions last year deep into the second half.
Yeah, well, let's call it what it is. Week one is always Saxy. Now, I know the Cowboys have the edge in that, and it's almost like it's not a rivalry, but Saxy are district champions in their district back-to-back, just like the Cowboys. Waxahachie, if it wasn't for being in that district that they're in, if they were in a different district, 9 times out of 10 they're winning the district championship there, but they're a battle-tested team that has to face Duncanville every year, DeSoto every year, Cedar Hill every year, and you can go down the list of that district. So you're basically facing, in the first 2 weeks of the season, 2 district champions in your pre-district schedule. Bowie, last year the Cowboys took care of business last year. We'll see what happened this year. Bowie already off to a 1-0 start, so props to them, and we'll see them next week here. But, yeah, you're starting your season with 2 district champions basically back to back with a new team. That's what Coach Riley wants. He doesn't want to play, forgive the wording, he doesn't want to go up against a bunch of scrub teams, to make it easy and, to basically play a bunch of lightweights before you play the heavyweights. He wants to get the heavyweight fight started as early as possible. And to your point, you get that out of the way, you face those heavyweight punches when it's go time and the games matter to playoffs. You know how to take the punches and you know how to punch back.
When you boil it down, what do you want out of your pre-district schedule? And I think the answer ultimately has shown time and time again is you want your team to be ready to face whatever they need to face when the season really jumps off in earnest. If it sounds like we're trying to tap dance and fill time, that's certainly because we are right now. We are in a lightning delay here at Buddy Eccles Field, and another bolt within 6 miles is just reset that lightning delay counter back up to a full 30 minutes. So it gets down to about 23 minutes at best, and then there is a bolt off to that northwest side. Dakota, I know you were looking at the radar earlier, and not that people can't at home, but the situation here is darkening skies, and the wind has picked up significantly. The wind is blowing from really kind of across the field and really from video board end to field house end here at Buddy Eccles Field. So the stands have pretty much cleared, although no rain is falling. There's no immediate lightning overhead. The UIL rule and the standing rule is, and you heard it last night, you saw it if you watched the Cowboys-Eagles game, is lightning within 6 miles of the stadium, and that's where we have right now. We have our eyes pretty much glued to the video board here, where they have pulled up the radar system that they use here, the lightning tracker system that they use here. It has a circle that has a 6-mile radius around Buddy Eccles Field drawn on it, and so you can see where those lightning bolts are happening. And another reset of the clock there, so we're back up to 23 minutes and just under 30 seconds now. And so it's got that counter updating in real time, and so we're getting the information and we're passing it along to you as we find it out. So currently in a lightning delay, and you are listening to the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show on Champion Sports Radio. We'll be back in just a moment.
For those with pure food indulgence, Anamiya's Tex-Mex is the place for you. Anamiya's uses the freshest ingredients in all dishes to offer you the best dining experience. Treat yourself to more than 50 menu choices from the classic to the creative Mexican dish. And not only is Anamiya's the best Mexican restaurant in Coppell, but they're also a top Dallas caterer. Located on the northwest corner of Denton Tap and Sandy Lake, remember, everyone goes home happy after eating Anamiya's. Anamiya's, where contemporary meets sabor. Online at anamiyas.com.
Are you looking for your young athlete to take the next step? Then check out Performance Course, the #1 training program in the country for school-age athletes. Performance Course is an unrivaled approach to progressively improving athletic ability. This unique course combines sound, proven strength and conditioning principles with the latest methodologies in a dynamic training environment to give your athlete a physical and mental advantage over the competition. Check out the available Coppell ISD-specific courses online by clicking on the Coppell logo at performancecourse.com.
Hey, yo, student section! I'm here with your boy Cowboy Carl, and we need to tell you something. The Mix is a party that happens every Wednesday night at Fellowship Church for all students, and I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. Follow at The Mix FC for all the details, and go Cowboys!
Homeowners in the DFW, listen up. Have you ever considered owning your own power by going solar? Well, my name is Dylan Olson with Infinity Solar USA. We are a locally owned and operated company to the DFW. We've helped thousands of homeowners become their own power company by going solar. We take pride in providing an amazing solar experience. Thanks to Champion Sports Radio, we've created an exclusive discount just for you. To get a free solar savings report, go ahead and give us a call at 469-868-4164. Infinity Solar USA.
Do you feel your home is too humid and slightly musty? Do you have that room or side of the house you don't use because it's too hot or too cold? Do you have family members struggling with health issues or allergies? Then contact Energy Attic and transform your living spaces by transforming your attic. Energy Attic uses a 3-part energy reduction system to make your home or office as comfortable and energy efficient as possible, saving you money, reducing your carbon footprint, and improving indoor air quality. Who doesn't want to save money, breathe cleaner air, and sleep better? Energy Attic helps improve your home climate control, reduces those cold and hot pockets, makes it more comfortable throughout, and saves you up to 40% on your energy bill. It's fast and easy to schedule your free Energy Attic audit. Simply visit energyattic.com and fill out the form. Virtual appointments are available as well. Now is the time to get your project started. So let Energy Attic show you how much you can love the comfort of your home. energyattic.com. Attic solutions to transform your life.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Follow us on Twitter at Champion Sports, like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ChampionSportsRadio, or look for us on Instagram at Champion Sports Radio. Tell us why your team will win this week, share when your favorite athlete is named Player of the Week, or brag about what your school alumni are up to now. That's on Twitter at Champion Sports, facebook.com/ChampionSportsRadio, and on Instagram at Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
Welcome back to Buddy Eccles Field, everybody, and the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show. Improving your home's climate control, reducing hot and cold pockets, and saving money on your energy bill, all by scheduling a free Energy Attic audit. Just head to energyattic.com. Energy Attic, Attic solutions to transform your life. We are currently in a weather delay, a lightning delay here at Buddy Eccles Field. Storms off to the north and northwest of Coppell, up into Denton County. That horn you hear was simply the clock counting down to when we were supposed to get started here. It is now 7 o'clock, and I tell you what, let us pause quickly to allow stations to identify themselves along the Coppell Cowboy Broadcast Network.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
You're listening to the home of the Coppell Cowboys, Champion Sports Radio.
Well, lightning counter resets again here, and we are back with you live on the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show. Tom Dewar, Dakota Burke, in the Champion Sports Radio broadcast booth here at Buddy Eccles Field. And if you're tuning in for what was supposed to be the start of this football game, the game has been delayed by storms off to the north and northwest of Coppell. And as they move through, the lightning detection system keeps firing up and keeps detecting lightning within 6 miles of the stadium. So that delay counter keeps ticking back up to 30. It keeps getting reset. It is now at 27 minutes and 30 seconds, and we keep watching it tick down, and it's gotten down to about 23 minutes before it gets reset again. So, Dakota, as we set the scene here, you made a very interesting observation that last year we were in the same predicament down in Waxahachie.
Yeah, down in Waxahachie last year. Again, first time these teams play each other, and we sit here and we have to think of things to talk about and twiddle our thumbs a little bit, and I thought to myself, were we in a lightning delay before last year? And we indeed were, because I remember I have a friend who lives in Waxahachie. He's a big Waxahachie supporter, and his wife, and his kid were at the game, and he was basically like, hey, let me know when the lightning delay's over. We're in the car.
Yep.
And I texted him when it was over. Like, oh, yeah, we've been here before. So as things change, some things stay the same. So we're 2 for 2 in lightning delays between Coppell and Waxahachie. So.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here reminded of the time that we played Killer Timber Creek. And so this goes back to 2023. And that game hit a lightning delay at halftime, and we never finished that game.
Nope.
Cowboys had a lead going into halftime, and after waiting it out for about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, they decided to call the game. And that is the only time I've ever been part of a football game outside of a youth game that ended without full completion. And so that was an interesting season because it depended on what source you looked at for stats, because Dave Campbell's counted it as a full game. The Dallas Morning News did not. And so you kind of had to dive deep into the statistics of, okay, are we talking about, an 11-game pre-district and district schedule, or a 10-game pre-district and district schedule, or a 9-game pre-district and district schedule? But we know here tonight we will get started at some point. We do not know when. The Lightning delay counter is at 25 minutes and 25 seconds. And so let's take advantage of the time we have to really kind of introduce you to the Waxahachie Indians. And on offense, this is a team that showed last year against the Cowboys as they were kind of coming into their stride with Jerry Meyer III as their quarterback. And the first few games, it was his second game of his Waxahachie career after moving in from Nevada last year, but they've shown that they're able to move this football and move it well and effectively. And last week, 450 yards of total offense, and if you break that down, it was 235 passing to 215 rushing, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. So the offense is certainly 21 for 35, 3 touchdown passes. He's not a very mobile quarterback, and a quarterback that's really able to burn you with his legs. -9 yards rushing last week, and last season, 28 rushes, -5 yards rushing. So really, he's not necessarily a mobile quarterback. He is a pro-style quarterback, and when we did a little looking into his background last year, the numbers that he put up when he was a quarterback in Nevada were pretty startling.
Yeah. Mind you, he's a freshman when he's in Nevada, and he sets the private school record in Nevada for touchdown passes with 58. Mind you, that is a freshman. That is a freshman starting quarterback, which is wild to say, but nonetheless, 58 touchdowns over there, setting that Nevada State record. So last year he came in with a lot of, expectations, a lot like our guy now, Carter Zingelman. A lot of expectations on him based on what he did last year, as I just saw a lightning bolt off my peripheral there.
Yep, just tick back up, a reset.
But anyway, last year Jerry Meyer was in the same position. All right, he's coming in from Nevada, and he's going to play in 6A Texas high school football. And does the kid really got it, And, well, he finished off the season with 3,165 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, a completion percentage of 58%. So definitely solid numbers for your first year as a sophomore quarterback. Now as a junior, by the way, committed to TCU. So that tells you already they don't allow average folks like us to play football at TCU. I'll just say that much. You got to be special. He is outstanding. Again, pro style, not going to beat you with his legs, but he can really dish it out. And going through briefly the targets that he has, the name that stands out is Cohen Brown, who's committed to Texas. They definitely don't allow anybody just to play football at Texas. That's his number one guy. He's a senior this year, 57 catches, 1,060 yards, 11 touchdowns. Had a touchdown last year against Coppell in that overtime game. Also starts at cornerback. And running game, like you mentioned, over 200 yards passing, over 200 yards rushing. Taylor Strange is the guy who gets the load there in the running back position, the sophomore. 9 carries, $114, 3 touchdowns last week. So this offense is very balanced, and it's one game, and it gets an opponent in Ennis that they handle pretty much all the time. But you see when they really get on a roll, they can beat you in multiple ways. So this team is stacked offensively. There's a lot of weapons. There's a lot of ways they can beat you offensively. It's a dangerous team.
Yeah, and you mentioned the weapons around him. Jordan Woods last week, 109 yards and a touchdown. He had a big 14-yard touchdown grab in the second quarter last week. And then you have Cohen Brown, who is going to UT and led the team in receiving yards last year with over 1,011 touchdowns, and had a nice day last year against the Cowboys, 4 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown. So that playmaking experience there. And then they have a backup wide receiver in Jaquan Snell, and he's a starting safety. That's something interesting is there are a couple of two-way players on this football team that the Cowboys are going to – both sides of the football are going to get familiar with in Cohen Brown and Jaquan Snell. And then not to mention the size of the offensive line. This is a big boy offensive line. The Cowboys faced a big boy offensive line in the playoffs last year against Prosper. But these are some dudes. You got left to right, Grant Gonzalez, left tackle, 6'6", 280. Malik Dismuke, left guard, 6'3", 285. The center is one of the smaller guys, Liam Anderson, 6 foot 285. Right guard, Justin Williams, 5'11", 310. And right tackle, Elijah Mendoza, who's going to Houston Christian, formerly known as Houston Baptist. He's 6'4", 270. None of these guys do I want to mess with in a back alley, but all of these guys that I want blocking for me. And they have been so crucial to the success early on, and I know it's one game, but really kind of setting the tempo and allowing Jerry Meyer and offensive company to really do what they want.
I don't want to meet them in a dark alley. I don't want to meet them in a light alley either.
They could be perfectly wonderful gentlemen.
They could be.
And I anticipate and expect that they are.
Right.
But they are imposing, especially in the trenches down there.
Exactly. I mean, when you have that kind of protection, when you have that kind of protection and you're Jerry Meyer, you breathe a little easier knowing that you have what you have in front of you. And also, if you're Taylor Strange and folks that are going to get the handoffs and everything too, you breathe a little easier because you got some helpers in that front five there. But yeah, this is a big offensive line when you compare it to what on the defensive side of things for Coppell. I mean, here's the thing: there's big boys there too. Braylon Powell, 6'2", 210. Nesiyama, 6'1", 220. Aaron Isbell, 6'3", 240. Godson Osuji, 6'2", 210. So there's definitely going to be a lot of big battles, pun intended, fully, on the line for offensive, defensive line. It's going to be an interesting battle between the trenches. I think that might even be one of the keys to the game that pops up out of nowhere as whenever we eventually start, because at this point, I don't even know when the timer's reset.
We can't burn through all the content too quickly.
Yeah,
here.
I know. So, but it's going to be an interesting battle in the trenches for sure.
Well, and I'll tell you, disappointingly so, the lightning counter just reset it at 30 minutes just a moment or two ago. So we are going to take a quick break. We'll step away, and when we come back, we'll flip the page and take a look at the other side of the roster for the Waxahachie Indians as they come in here tonight to face the Coppell Cowboys. Whenever we get started, this is the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show, an extended version here on Champion Sports Radio.
As the sole provider of the Coppell High School mouthguards, Dr. Bailey and his team have been proudly perfecting and protecting Coppell smiles since 1987. From Invisalign to braces to early treatment for your little smiles, Dr. Bailey will craft a customized treatment for each and every smile in our lovely community. Learn more about who they are and what they do by visiting CoppellOrtho.com. That's CoppellOrtho.com. Bailey Orthodontics, proudly serving the Coppell community since 1987.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Johnson Management Company is an independent, family-owned McDonald's franchisee serving North Texas communities since 1986. At JMC, they actively support their communities through their involvement with schools, youth sports, and local charities. Your locally owned Coppell McDonald's proudly supports the Coppell Cowboys and reminds you to download the McDonald's app for all the best deals. Place your pickup order at the South Denton Tap Road location here in Coppell, or if you can't make it in, have your favorites delivered right to you. JMC McDonald's says, let's go, Big Red.
At Frost, it's about award-winning service. When you have an account with Frost, you have a relationship with Frost. They'll answer the phone when you call 24/7 right here in Texas, and they'll be there for you with a square deal and prudent financial advice and tools to help you with all the milestones in the years ahead. Frost is your corner and around the corner. Frost is expanding across the Metroplex, and they're committed to supporting the communities they serve. While other banks are closing locations, Frost is bringing their people from banking, investments, and insurance into more corners of the Metroplex. Deposit and loan products are offered through Frost Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Coppell Cowboys, we want to personally invite you to join us this Sunday at Fellowship Church in Grapevine.
For over 3 decades, Pastor Ed Young and Fellowship Church have been creatively and boldly communicating the Bible.
For more information, visit fellowshipchurch.com and go Cowboys!
UT Southwestern is the proud sponsor of Coppell High School's First Responders Night. Along with its main campus in Dallas, UT Southwestern sees patients in Frisco, Richardson, Plano, the Park Cities, Las Colinas, Fort Worth, Redbird, and now open in Coppell. UT Southwestern is the #1 hospital in DFW, named by U.S. News and World Report. Thank you, first responders. Go Cowboys!
Welcome back to Buddy Eccles Field, everybody, and welcome back to the expanded edition of the Energetic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show. Tom Dewar and Dakota Burke here with you, as we are in a lightning delay here before the Cowboys and the Waxahachie Indians take the field, and that lightning delay counter just reset at 30 minutes as there is lightning off to the north of Coppell right now with a storm system moving through. And so we are getting you ready for this football game whenever it should start. And let's go back into our study here of the Waxahachie Indians, and now let's look at the defensive side of the football. And defensively, you heard Coach Wiley talk about it a few minutes ago. But this defense can make things very difficult for opposing offenses. And here is a perfect stat, 2 stats, to help color that. 6.5 sacks last week in their game against Dennis, and 3 takeaways. I'm sorry, 3 forced fumbles. They recovered 1 and got 1 interception, so 2 takeaways. But still, they're able to jar the ball loose. They're able to take the ball away, and they're able to get to the quarterback. And that's going to be something the Cowboys' young offense is going to have to contend with tonight.
Yeah, and also on top of that, this defense is ranked in the state number 18 against the pass. Overall, number 13 in points allowed. So it's just a team, and it says it right here on the sheet. They don't give up a lot of points or yards. That's kind of their job on defense, so they do a heck of a job at that. I want to – something you brought up earlier that, you mentioned Jaquan Snell and Cohen Brown and, the kind of dual players. Cohen Brown, 6'1" cornerback and wide receiver. Jaquan Snell, a 6'3" free safety. That is a lot of size in the secondary, and that's
very much so. And it's athletic size too.
Yes, it's athletic size. It's not something you see all the time. Most cornerbacks are usually maybe a little bit shorter than wide receivers, give or take. But when you got that size there, that's outrageous stuff to say the least. And then, we go through the front 4. Carmelo Clausen, he's a returning starter. He's 6'1", 220. He is the only varsity experience on the defensive line. But you have Aaron Snell, who forced 2 of those fumbles last week, had 2 forced fumbles all of last year. So he's pretty good at the whole forced fumbling aspect of the game. Taylon Pierce had him a sack last week as well. Cedric Marsh Jr., 6'4", 235 on the defensive end. That is a lot of length and a lot of athleticism coming off the edge there. Linebacker, Demarion Cooper, he's a returning starter, 6'1", 190. He led the team in tackles last season. Cade Tollison, returning starter. He was among the team leaders in sacks last year, got him a sack. So in every aspect, and I forgot to mention, by the way, Jaquan Snell, going back to him, he's got offers from Alabama. They don't offer scrubs deals there. Auburn, they don't offer scrubs scholarships there. Arkansas, same thing. Baylor, those are schools they don't offer just anybody scholarships to.
And Arizona, too.
So whether it's the line, whether it's the secondary, whether it's up the middle, there's always somebody you have to keep an eye on. So, you could find some weaknesses on most teams, maybe in the secondary, and they're strong on the line. Or maybe they're strong in the middle, but not as strong secondary on the line. This team, from top to bottom, line all the way to secondary and everything in between, they are stacked. So this is going to be a humongous test for Carter and the boys.
And as they say, numbers don't lie, right? Last week, only allowing 270 total yards, 114 passing yards, 156 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. 2 rushing touchdowns last week. That was for Ennis. This is a group that has got the most returning elements from last year. And when you have that, you're able to accelerate and go a little faster, especially when game planning, especially when, as you heard Coach Wiley talk about for the Cowboys, especially when going off script and having to throw, being a little bit more reactive and feeling secure that you can be more reactive in game scenarios and making those adjustments that you feel like you need to, and that your guys have you. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how the Cowboys up front are able to handle the pass rush, handle the pressure that's going to come certainly off the edges and up the middle, and then from their talented linebacker crew. The base defense for the Waxahachie Indians is they run a 4-2-5, and that's not something you see an awful lot of. The Cowboys did that for a little while. They ran a 4-2-5, and every now and then you encounter it, but they go with the 4-down lineman and then the Mike and Sam linebacker, and instead of that third linebacker, they use, and this is where Hector Calderon comes in. He's kind of a rover linebacker safety hybrid. And so oftentimes he'll line up a little deeper than the linebacker would, but they're able to bring him up. And so, the position again is the rover position. So it kind of, lists him as a defensive back or a safety, and he has the size for that. He's a 5'7", 175 senior, but he's impactful. He had the interception for Waxahachie last week in their win over Ennis. By the way, that was the 104th meeting between Waxahachie and Ennis. And we talked about a rivalry. Waxahachie has won the last 4 meetings between those two teams. We are still in a lightning delay, and that lightning counter just reset at 30 minutes, just as I was talking. And so we are now at just above 29 minutes. All right. One thing that we have not talked about, actually, there's a couple things we have to address when it comes to Waxahachie, and we'll do that on the other side of a break. You're listening to an expanded edition of the Energy Addict Countdown to Kickoff pregame show, live from Buddy Eccles Field as we await this one and we wait out a lightning delay. This is Coppell Cowboy football on Champion Sports Radio.
Welcome to Bliss Orthodontics, where you'll experience the Bliss difference. Dr. Edau at Bliss Orthodontics is your leading Coppell orthodontist and has been serving the community for more than a decade. Bliss Orthodontics treats children and adults and can help you with braces, Invisalign, and even those affected by sleep apnea. Dr. Edau has more than 25 years of experience and has been named Best Orthodontist in North Texas by D Magazine. Bliss Orthodontics actively supports our local schools and sports teams, and they're a proud sponsor of Coppell Cowboys football. You can find them online at BlissOrtho.com.
Living in North Texas provides all of us with an amazing quality of life, including an affordable cost of living, outstanding schools, unbelievable cultural opportunities, and the best sports around. But we also have to put up with severe storms. Hi folks, Champion Sports Radio President and Founder Thomas Lee here to tell you when a hail or windstorm comes through your neighborhood, do what we did and call Greenleaf Roofing. Greenleaf Roofing is a fully insured, locally owned and operated company built on the values of amazing craftsmanship, affordable options, and innovative solutions. And they are proud that those values still stand as a foundation for their business today. And did I mention Greenleaf Roofing has 24-hour emergency service available? It's nice to know Greenleaf Roofing will be there in a hurry if you need them. After the first experience, I became a customer for life and have used them on 3 different homes. But don't just take my word for it. Learn about the Greenleaf Roofing difference yourself by calling them at 972-379-9109 or go online to greenleaf-roofing.com to find out how you can get your free quote. Greenleaf Roofing, the #1 choice for all your roofing needs.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are.
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Each year across the United States, young lives are lost to sudden cardiac arrest, and our communities are left to pick up the pieces. That's what happened in April of 2009 when Zachary Schraw lost his life to an undiagnosed heart condition after collapsing suddenly during a Plano East Senior High School football practice. After his death, Zach's loved ones knew it was time to take action to protect young hearts across North Texas from this silent killer. Since its establishment in 2009, Living for Zachary has impacted thousands of families by providing heart screenings for ages 12 to 22, donating AEDs to youth-based organizations, and training community members in the use of CPR, all with the goal of saving lives. Sudden cardiac arrest doesn't wait, so we can't either. Schedule your child's heart screening today, apply for an AED for your organization, or make a donation that could change a life forever. Together, we can give our children's hearts a second chance. Join the movement to save young hearts at livingforzachary.org today.
Welcome back to Buddy Eccles Field, everybody. Tom Dewar and Dakota Burke here with you on the special expanded edition of the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show, although I guess we could call this the Energy Attic Lightning Delay pregame show at this point. As we are in a lightning delay, and just as I say that, another bolt of lightning resets the counter at 30 minutes. So the situation is as such. Every bolt of lightning within 6 miles of Buddy Eccles Field resets that counter, and so every bolt of lightning that is detected within 6 miles means we are back at a 30-minute delay. So right now, if you're listening to us in the Central Time Zone, as we know most of you are, it is 7:24 Central Time, so the earliest we could start would be 7:54, although something says to me it's not going to be that early as we continue to see lightning fire up off to the north of us. And the most exciting development we had during that break is the wind has picked up here considerably, and it blew a bright red Coppell pop tent that was over along the home sideline. It blew that over into a nearby campus construction site. And I have not seen anybody try to go retrieve it from over there, but it was doing cartwheels as it leapt over a fence, and it was gone. It was off and gone thanks to the wind that is with this cold front that's moving through. Temperature is now at 86 degrees, and it keeps fluctuating up and down and every which way. And so another lightning bolt there, and we are back at 30 minutes. And while we have a few minutes and plenty of minutes, let's continue our deep dive into this Waxahachie Indians team, and they're led by a guy named Shane Tollison. He's their head coach. It's his 20th year of coaching, and he grew up in Waxahachie, but has had a lot of his success in coaching came at Denton Ryan when he was the defensive coordinator there, and he won a title there. But what he's done here for this Waxahachie Indians team has really been incredible. This is a team that had a 2-7 record, or 2-17 record in 2018 and 19, before Tollison came in here and took over, and since then, the past 5 years, including their win last week, 40-19. So he's really turned the program around, and it's a guy who's doing this in his hometown of Waxahachie.
Yeah, he started at Dunway Elementary. That's where he went to school in Waxahachie before, as you mentioned. Went to Corsicana, all-time leading tackler there for the Corsicana Tigers. Went to Navarro Junior College and then eventually Arkansas State University, where he was a linebacker and fullback. Graduated from there, bachelor's in criminal justice, master's in public administration. And that's where he got his coaching start. 4 years at Arkansas State, 5 years at Southern Arkansas University. Then he went to 1 year at Haltom High School, 7 years as defensive coordinator at Denton Ryan, as you mentioned. Got that state championship as the defensive coordinator there in 2020. And that brought him back home to Waxahachie, where, took over a team that was no one really paid attention to in the beginning. They were just, honestly, when he took over at the start, Waxahachie were kind of pushovers. But he has built something there now where you have to take them seriously. especially now. He's built a team that's competitive in District 11 6A. I probably sound like a broken record when I mention that, but again, you have to understand who's in that district. You got Duncanville. Ever heard of them before? They got DeSoto. You ever heard of them before? Cedar Hill. You ever heard of them before? I mean, you can get lost in the shuffle. In that district, you're essentially almost fighting for the 4th playoff spot, which is the final spot. But he's built a team that doesn't just fight for the 4th spot. He's built a team that fights for, arguably, could fight for the number 1 spot, as things are a little wonky in that district after week 1. But again, things could change and mellow out. But, I mean, he's built a team that can compete in that district. They made it to the regional semifinals last year. And they did that with a young team. So, again, the future's only bright, and it's all because, Shane Tolleson came in.
Mm-hmm.
He, we talk about culture with Wiley. He's brought a culture with Waxahachie that people are buying into. And right off the jump with this squad last year, they were successful. And, again, their future's very bright. They have pretty much a whole nother year they do have another year with Jerry Meyer, and then, whatever the team will look like next year. But for right now, this is a very competitive team that could find themselves right back where they left off last year in playoffs.
Yeah, and they're trying to – so they just like the Cowboys, lost in a regional semifinal game last year. This is a team that won a 4A state title back in 1992. They've made 32 playoff appearances. Their last miss was 2021. But it's certainly that Shane Tolleson, in his 5th year here with the Waxahachie Indians, has them headed in the right direction. We wish we were headed in the right direction. The Lightning counter is down to 24. Nope.
Soon as you said something.
Just jinxed that, didn't I? It is back up to a full 30 minutes.
Are we the problem?
Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. We were down to just over 24 minutes, and I had my fingers and toes crossed on that. It looked like we were going to get down, hopefully turning in the right direction. But I jinxed that. We talk about the the curse of the broadcaster.
Mm-hmm.
It just reared its ugly head right there. As you look at what is ahead of us tonight, we hope. I feel like now we're in that place where I have to kind of put an asterisk next to everything. And speaking of, you said you felt like a broken record. There's going to be a lot of record broke in here. Sounded like tonight with us being in this lightning delay. We should not care about the fact that we sound like a broken record at this point. Although we do recognize that we are tap dancing here, and we appreciate all those who have stayed with us here and continue to listen into the broadcast. What is something that where's an opportunity you think the Cowboys have tonight against a team like Waxahachie? What do you think is their strength coming into this ball game tonight, and where do you think that they can find a way to pull out a W?
I think, to me, where they can maybe cause a problem will be the fact that Jerry Meyer's not a mobile quarterback. Now, they have to fight through that big offensive line. And as I mentioned earlier, there's some big boys on defense. Powell, Nesiyama, Isbell, Osuji, all of them over 6 foot. Osuji and Powell are the smallest of the bunch, 210, but they're very quick. We saw Osuji just be an absolute menace last week. So I think if they could find a way to get past that line and force Jerry Meyer to throw with not a lot of time. I hearken back to whenever the Patriots in 2007 were basically trying to pull a Miami Dolphins, almost went undefeated, and they lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants. The reason why the Giants beat them in that Super Bowl was because they just put the pressure on Tom Brady. Tom Brady's not an athletic quarterback. He just had way too much time to throw to Randy Moss and everybody that he had there. The Giants put up a lot of pressure, and the Giants took advantage and caused the biggest upset in Super Bowl history, more not likely the biggest upset in Super Bowl history. And that's all because they brought the pressure. I think that's where the Cowboys' best chance lies. Obviously, you look offensively for the Cowboys, and we know what they can do, but you have to try, and I don't want to say stop the Waxahachie offense. You need to control them. You need to force them to beat you in one way instead of every way, And I think that starts with putting the pressure on Jerry Meyer. He's not a mobile quarterback per se. He's a classic quarterback, pro style. So if you're able to put the pressure on him, make him throw in uncomfortable situations or even get a couple sacks on him, I think you throw the balance of this team off, and I think you give yourself a really good chance to win.
And I'm glad you bring that up because I think there is a great amount of validity to that. And the Cowboys' defense last week really came up big in spots. And I'm not necessarily talking about splash plays, but they were able to keep bringing pressure on Dirk Williams.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to get to him, especially late in the game. The Cowboys have 4 sacks. Their defense had 4 sacks in last week's win over Saxe. So it's not that they're not able to get home. They certainly are. And if they're able to maneuver their way and scheme their way through and around the Waxahachie offensive line, they could very well have a field day. They could very well have a good evening this evening against Jerry Meyer.
And of those 4 sacks, Nesiyama, Isbell, Gardner, Osuji. 3 of those 4 guys, Gardner being the one wild card because he's a linebacker, the other 3, they're on the defensive line. So we know that they can get to the quarterback against Saxe. Getting it to Waxahachie might be a tougher test, but those 3 out of those 4 sacks came from the defensive line. So if they can get that pressure again like they did last week, that will cause a little bit of chaos possibly, and maybe force Waxahachie to beat you on the ground, which they're great on the ground. We went through the numbers, 200 passing, 200 rushing. They're very balanced. So you just got to throw the balance off just a little bit. If you do that, force them to beat you one way. Hey, look, if they beat you one way, okay, they're a really great team, and they did it. But at least force them to try something different. Throw their script off, if you will, and see if you can maybe control Jerry Meyer as much as you can.
And who knows what kind of impact this lightning delay is going to have on both teams.
Yeah.
You have both teams were out for warm-ups.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys did their senior night introductions and their senior night
Thankfully
stuff.
got that out of the way.
They got that taken care of in the pregame show. And then everybody was told to go back into the locker room in the clubhouse here at Buddy Eccles Field, and so oftentimes that can change course. And you saw that kind of happen in the Cowboys-Eagles game last night, where there were a lot of points scored in the first half, and before the weather delay, the lightning delay there in Philadelphia, and then not much happened for either team after the delay, and so. It can oftentimes you and I have used the analogy of the baseball analogy of when the defense is on the field for a long time, the quarterback is sitting there almost like a starting pitcher when his team's at the plate and on a hot streak. This can oftentimes change a game. Now, I think you see that more when a game's in progress.
Yeah.
And this one had not had a chance to get started. To recap where we are now, we are currently in a lightning delay here at Buddy Eccles Field. That's why you're listening to Dakota and I talk endlessly about anything and everything we can think about in hopes that this game will get started soon. This is a special expanded edition of the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show. There are storms moving through North Texas. There are storms to the north and northwest of Coppell, and so every time there is a lightning bolt that is detected within 6 miles of Buddy Eccles Field, the counter resets to 30 minutes, and that has happened several times so far tonight. We are hopeful that with every time it ticks down to where it is now, it will continue to tick in the favorable direction. We appreciate all of you who tuned in for the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show that has now become the Energy Attic Lightning Delay pregame show.
We might as well just had dinner here and had a nice conversation over some dinner, and just
exactly.
That's basically what this is.
And so we appreciate the fact that you're ready for football. We are too, and hopefully we will get ready for that. And when we come back, tell you what, we will take a trip around the district, and we'll have a little chit chat about our district foes as we wait for the start of the Cowboys and the Waxahachie Indians. Live from Buddy Eccles Field, this is the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show, and you are listening to Coppell Cowboys football on the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboys Broadcast Network.
For those with pure food indulgence, Anamia's Tex-Mex is the place for you. Anamia's uses the freshest ingredients in all dishes to offer you the best dining experience. Treat yourself to more than 50 menu choices from the classic to the creative Mexican dish. And not only is Anamia's the best Mexican restaurant in Coppell, but they're also a top Dallas caterer. Located on the northwest corner of Denton Tap and Sandy Lake, remember, everyone goes home happy after eating Anamia's. Anamia's, where contemporary meets sabor. Online at anamias.com.
Are you looking for your young athlete to take the next step? Then check out Performance Course, the #1 training program in the country for school-age athletes. Performance Course is an unrivaled approach to progressively improving athletic ability. This unique course combines sound, proven strength and conditioning principles with the latest methodologies in a dynamic training environment to give your athlete a physical and mental advantage over the competition. Check out the available Coppell ISD-specific courses online by clicking on the Coppell logo at performancecourse.com.
Hey, yo, student section! I'm here with your boy Cowboy Carl, and we need to tell you something. The Mix is a party that happens every Wednesday night at Fellowship Church for all students, and I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. Follow at The Mix FC for all the details, and go Cowboys!
Homeowners in the DFW, listen up. Have you ever considered owning your own power by going solar? Well, my name is Dylan Olson with Infinity Solar USA. We are a locally owned and operated company to the DFW. We've helped thousands of homeowners become their own power company by going solar. We take pride in providing an amazing solar experience. Thanks to Champion Sports Radio, we've created an exclusive discount just for you. To get a free solar savings report, go ahead and give us a call at 469-868-4164. Infinity Solar USA.
Do you feel your home is too humid and slightly musty? Do you have that room or side of the house you don't use because it's too hot or too cold? Do you have family members struggling with health issues or allergies? Then contact Energy Attic and transform your living spaces by transforming your attic. Energy Attic uses a 3-part energy reduction system to make your home or office as comfortable and energy efficient as possible, saving you money, reducing your carbon footprint, and improving indoor air quality. Who doesn't want to save money, breathe cleaner air, and sleep better? Energy Attic helps improve your home climate control, reduces those cold and hot pockets, makes it more comfortable throughout, and saves you up to 40% on your energy bill. It's fast and easy to schedule your free Energy Attic audit. Simply visit energyattic.com and fill out the form. Virtual appointments are available as well. Now is the time to get your project started. So let Energy Attic show you how much you can love the comfort of your home. energyattic.com. Attic solutions to transform your life.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Follow us on Twitter at Champion Sports, like our Facebook page at facebook.com/championsportsradio, or look for us on Instagram at Champion Sports Radio. Tell us why your team will win this week. Share when your favorite athlete is named Player of the Week, or brag about what your school alumni are up to now. That's on Twitter at Champion Sports, facebook.com/championsportsradio, and on Instagram at Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
Welcome back to Buddy Eccles Field, everybody. Tom Dewar and Dakota Burke here with you in the Champion Sports Radio broadcast booth. We're still here with you, and we are still in a lightning delay as we keep an eye on the skies and on the lightning delay counter. Let's take a look through the District 5-6A and what's happening. 2 games last night. Louisville with a big night as they defeated Byron Nelson, and that was a big performance last night from their quarterback. 3 touchdowns for Trey Williams, let me click on this again. 5 touchdowns from Trey Williams. I remembered 3. It was actually 5, so I apologize. Trey Williams, their quarterback, 5 total touchdowns for him in their win over Byron Nelson last night. Little Elm lost to Prosper Walnut Grove, so Louisville 2-0, Little Elm 0-2, and tonight the only game that is going on right now is Geyer and Arlington Martin. Dakota's got an update on that in a second, but Marcus is hosting Arlington. Hebron is at South Lake Carroll. Braswell is at Eaton, and Flower Mound is at Wiley tonight. And you have the update on Geyer and Arlington Martin, which is the only district game that is in progress because they're down in Tarrant County.
Yeah, and Geyer came to play after losing to Aledo last week, which losing to Aledo, all-time winning team in high school history in that 5A, side of things. But they're up 24-0, and it's still the first half. So Geyer having their way against Martin after that loss to Aledo. Like Tom said, that's the only game going on right now. Every other game, Flower Mound Wiley, Braswell Eden, Marcus Arlington, Hebron and Carroll, all those games in a delay, just like we are, because all those games are being played more in the more northern side of Texas. And like you said, Geyer's over there down in Arlington, and they get to play football, which that must be fun. I wonder what that's like.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a late night for many of us here as we wait out this this weather delay. So just to set the scene for you, most fans are back in the seats, at least over on the Coppell side. They've been back in their seats for a while as they've realized that the Lightning is off to the north. The wind keeps picking up, and then it dies down a little bit, but there is a substantial breeze out there as this cold front moves through. So the fans here are certainly ready for football. And while we talk about the district, let's kind of recap some of the prognostications, the predictions for this district. And Dave Campbell's had Geyer predicted to finish first, Coppell predicted to finish second, followed by Louisville and Hebron as your 4 playoff teams, with Marcus, Braswell, Flower Mound, and Little Elm, 5 through 8 on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoffs. Through 1 week, and we all know 1 week does not a season make, but through 1 week, and based on what we've seen here, do we think that is a legitimate prediction?
I think after 1 week it holds up. I mean, the only oddball right now is Marcus is 1-0. Geyer's obviously 0-1. Again, they played Aledo. If you know high school football, Aledo is the winningest high school football team in the entire state of Texas. They have about 12, 13 state championships to their credit. It's a 5A school, but I mean, a bunch of people move there. It could be 6A, sooner rather than later. Very talented team. So that 0-1 is kind of skewed a little bit. But as it stands right now, I would say that's pretty much accurate. I think as we go through the season, when Coppell plays Geyer, that's going to be a tough one for them. Louisville will probably be just as tough as well. As you get down the schedule a little bit, when they eventually play Braswell, Flower Mound, and Little Elm, obviously anything can happen, but I think the Cowboys will be battle-tested enough. A lot of the Cowboys' tough games are kind of in district. They're kind of in the beginning. So they kind of go through the harder games right when things get started, and things kind of taper off a little bit, not to take away from any of those teams at the end, but, the heavy hitters come in the beginning pretty much. So I think that prediction can hold up. There may be a little bit of tweaks here and there that may happen. Again, you have to play the game. It's not played on paper, but I think that prediction is as close to accurate as I would probably. I mean, my predictions would be pretty similar.
I don't disagree with you. I am very intrigued by Louisville this year. There's a lot of talent on that roster, and so I'm intrigued by them. But my gut tells you or my gut tells me, and my mouth is about to tell you and our friends who are listening, I think that Geyer 1, Coppell 2, Louisville 3, Hebron 4, to me sounds right.
It makes sense.
To me makes sense as well. All right, still in a lightning delay. The counter keeps going up, but not by as much as it was before, so we're optimistic. Temperature is down to 81 degrees. It has dropped 16, 17 degrees since we went on the air a little over an hour ago. So here is our plan. We are going to take another quick break, and when we come back, the other side of a break here on the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show, we are going to represent an interview that we did with Coppell head coach Antonio Wiley. It is one that we aired in part last week during halftime. It is our season preview, what he thinks of his team going into this season, albeit we will present it for the second time in 2 weeks, an encore presentation, as they would say, and that is coming on the other side of a break. This is Coppell Cowboy Football on Champion Sports Radio.
As the sole provider of the Coppell High School mouthguards, Dr. Bailey and his team have been proudly perfecting and protecting Coppell smiles since 1987. From Invisalign to braces to early treatment for your little smiles, Dr. Bailey will craft a customized treatment for each and every smile in our lovely community. Learn more about who they are and what they do by visiting CoppellOrtho.com. That's CoppellOrtho.com. Bailey Orthodontics, proudly serving the Coppell community since 1987.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Johnson Management Company is an independent, family-owned McDonald's franchisee serving North Texas communities since 1986. At JMC, they actively support their communities through their involvement with schools, youth sports, and local charities. Your locally owned Coppell McDonald's proudly supports the Coppell Cowboys and reminds you to download the McDonald's app for all the best deals. Place your pickup order at the South Denton Tap Road location here in Coppell, or if you can't make it in, have your favorites delivered right to you. JMC McDonald's says, let's go, Big Red.
At Frost, it's about award-winning service. When you have an account with Frost, you have a relationship with Frost. They'll answer the phone when you call 24/7 right here in Texas, and they'll be there for you with a square deal and prudent financial advice and tools to help you with all the milestones in the years ahead. Frost is your corner and around the corner. Frost is expanding across the Metroplex, and they're committed to supporting the communities they serve. While other banks are closing locations, Frost is bringing their people from banking, investments, and insurance into more corners of the Metroplex. Deposit and loan products are offered through Frost Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Buddy Eccles Field, everybody. Tom Dewar and Dakota Burke here with you as we wait out a lightning delay here before the Cowboys take on the Waxahachie Indians. And time now for an encore presentation of our season preview interview with Cowboy head coach Antonio Wiley as he talks a little bit about what he expects from his team coming into this 2025 season.
And to like to start the season here, game one, with a bit more of an in-depth conversation with you and what you're seeing for the year ahead. And let's kind of start with, you go into year 4 now. This is your team. You've left, a mark on it since the very beginning, and you've grown each and every year. The team has grown each and every year. As you get set to start your 4th season in Coppell, what are some of the things on your mind right now? What are some of the things that you're looking forward to for this season? And what are some of the things that you want us and the fans to keep in mind as we get ready?
Man, that's a laundry list of questions in a short amount of time to answer, man. But what I'll say is what I expect, what the fans can expect from our kids is to always show up, always play hard. Expect there to be some growing pains here and there because we're young. And with young teams come young mistakes. But I will tell you this, we're young, highly talented, and we have a chance to be a really good football team. We just got to grow up in a hurry.
Talk to us about how you go about making the transition to a younger team, both coaching-wise and roster makeup-wise. This is not a familiar spot for Coppell fans. It is a small senior class. It was a large senior class last year. You graduated a lot of talent. So what goes into the game planning and the roster makeup through the offseason to get us here to week 1?
I'm a big proponent for not asking kids to do something that they're not able to do or not quite prepared to do. Our coaches, they'll tell you, I tell them all the time, don't tell me what he can't do, tell me what he can do. So I think with our young team and with the lack of experience we have to do a great job of game planning and being precise in what we want. Don't leave much to the gray. Everything needs to kind of be black and white when it comes to execution, what we need from them, and instruction. I think those are the things. And then when you come to game planning, where we were able to improvise really fast at moments in the previous years because of the age and experience we have, now we have to go out and make sure that we have put together a game plan that's simple enough but effective enough for our kids to be successful and be able to make minor tweaks rather than major overhauls sometime between series to fix things.
It's hard to ask what did the team learn from last year, and coming off the loss to North Crowley, the eventual state champions, because a lot of those guys are not there anymore. So I will ask you as a coach, what about last year, that whole season, and then when the season ended, what did you learn from that you could implement to guys who are brand new and have, maybe they're new under you?
When you're asking about last season, the first thing I'm going to say is it was a special group of young men. Coppell has benefited, myself as a coaching staff, the community benefited from having a really special group of young men. But I'll tell you what you learn. You learn that you can't take leadership for granted amongst players, because now you look up and you got a bunch of young guys who hadn't really been in that role who are having to learn how to do it. And they're doing a great job. They're grabbing on with both hands and, developing into being great leaders. But when you've had them in a locker room and on the sideline for multiple years running, and all of a sudden you look around and you've got not as much experience coming back. Now, we have some coming back in the secondary, and those guys are doing a good job of trying to lead and becoming leaders. But just knowing that leadership experience is not around, I think those are some of the most valuable things. And you start talking about that loss, what do you learn from a loss like that? The same thing you always learn. You can't beat a good football team making mistakes. And, down the stretch, that last 5 minutes of that game, there's a lot of things that could have went differently, and the outcome of that game could have come out possibly in our favor if we don't make those mistakes. But hats off to Coach Gates and his ball club. They did a great job, and they deserve to be state champions. And they're state champions for a reason. They're a dang good club.
Before we get into some of the special guys that make up the 2025 Coppell Cowboys, I want to talk more on a general level of what you've been able to do to build this program and replenish that pipeline at the lower levels, replenish the JV squad, the freshman squad, on down into the middle schools. And how have you seen that develop in your time here? And how important is it to be able to do that at this state of high school football where there are now more transfers?
Man, I think it's time. Exactly. You made reference to time in your question. It's time. It's time consuming, and it's and it's our willingness as a staff and as a program to dedicate time to our lower levels, whether it be middle school, CYFA, or our high school sub-varsities, because time is our most precious commodity. There's nothing you can give a group of young men that's more important than your time. And so with that, I think that's what's allowed us to build a pipeline and get it to where our kids, everybody in Coppell is a Coppell Cowboy. And that's what matters. And so I think the amount of time we spend with our sub-varsities and our middle schools and the connections that we have with our youth association are all huge, because I think if you get them all bought into they're a Cowboy from the time they're old enough to pick up a ball, you're less likely to lose them to the high school transfer portal.
You bring up something really kind of interesting and unique that Coppell has. It's not a Plano. It's not a Flower Mound where you're divided into multiple high schools. You are one high school united, and you have a bigger pipeline. How does that make your job maybe easier? How does that make the program better when you have just that one school and you have the pipelines all laddering up to that one central point?
Well, just like I know, when you're the only show in town on a Friday night, your fans aren't divided. Your people, everybody's coming to watch one team, and that's a benefit. Everybody's bought in that community. When you walk around and everybody's, hey, my kids go to Coppell. I went to Coppell. We're going to the Coppell game. That's a huge thing. It's not, and no, that's not any knock on anybody else who's not in a one-horse town. It's just something special that unless you're in a one-horse town, you won't understand it.
I want to talk about Carter for a second. Obviously, he's coming in sophomore, young guy. As tall as all get out, 6'6", and watching the film on him, he kind of makes things look way easier than they should be, at least from what I've seen. Can you tell me a little bit about Carter and what you've learned about him and his personality and just kind of his intangibles that you see so far from this young kid?
Man, what can I say about him? He's a blue-collar kid. He's going to show up, go to work, keep his nose down. He's not real high maintenance. A kid that's kind of getting the recognition that he's getting as a sophomore. Usually you have to worry about him kind of having a little bit of entitlement that comes along with it. He's a great young man from a great family, and we don't deal with any of those things. He's a competitor. and he's harder on himself than anybody can be. I've watched him. He missed a ball, the first thing he's upset with himself. He's got a little bit of Edward Griffin in that way because Edward was such a perfectionist, and I think Carter has some of that as well in him.
When you talk to, what are some of the expectations for him this season? Obviously, you come in as a sophomore. That is not necessarily something that we see an awful lot. There are a few along the way. Griffin stepped in as a junior, ended up being a 2-year starter. You have a potential 3-year starter on your hands with Carter. What is the plan for him as you start year one of his varsity career, and where do you see that leading to where he's a senior playing his final game, hopefully in a state title?
Oh man, I think some people do, they'll say, hey, as with a young quarterback, you can't put much on his plate. I think he is highly intelligent and he's able to handle more. I think the sky's the limit for this young man, and I think as we progress and we watch him grow, I think he's going to put on a show for all of us. You know what I mean? I think we're going to be surprised at what he can do as a sophomore, and then as a junior, I think he's going to be special, and I think as a senior, he's got a chance to be one of the most elite quarterbacks across the state and possibly to ever play at Coppell, and that's saying something because right now the guy that he's coming in behind, I mean, I thought he's probably the best one to ever play there and probably that ever will play there. So
but isn't that the scenario you want? You want that next guy, that next man up mentality. You want that next guy to have the drive to be better than the guy they sat behind or the guy they're following.
Absolutely. I think Carter, as a quarterback, should want to be like, all due respect for Eddie G, but I want people to talk about me and not about Eddie when they talk about Coppell football. That's in my me being a competitor and him being the type of competitor he is, I think he respects it and he loves it. He loves what Eddie's done. But I think his competitive nature is going to say, but I want somebody to talk about Carter Zingelman when they talk about Coppell football, here in the next 4 to 5 years.
Well, Coach, we can talk about the new guys all day because there's a lot of them, but I want to shift to the defense and some of the experience that's there. And the two guys that pop up, they just happen to be the twins, Tyree and Tyrell Roberson. Last year, they both had tremendous seasons. Just what do you expect from them defensively now that they're in this kind of leadership role in the sense of, they are the experience that came back from last year and had great seasons?
I expect them to be the calming force on the sideline outside of our coaches. You need those older guys who've been in the storms and been in the tough battles, to be able to calm the sidelines when things, because it's inevitable. Somebody's going to punch you in the mouth on a Friday night. How do you recover from that and get back going and find your way out of a dazed state and get back to executing the game plan? Because I think that's what experience does. That's what having guys who can play the game of football coming back on your roster and who kids on your team look at as leaders. So I think those two guys can be huge, and I think they're going to have a great year. I think they're going to go out and they're going to be rocks for us at their position, and they're going to make it tough on people's passing game.
And then just overall, what other playmakers should we be looking at? And for the fans listening, what other playmakers do you want to highlight as far as guys we should be looking out for this year, whether it be offense, defense, or even special teams?
Man, I mean, we've got quite a few. You got Jacob Nate, a sophomore receiver, played varsity basketball last year, but he's moving into his first year of varsity football. I think he's going to be one that has a chance to be special. Ethan Mack and our big Y / tight end, he's got a chance to be successful. I think Ishan Mayer, our second quarterback, and he's going to have some other roles on the team. I think he's a guy you've got to look out for. Defensively, I think Lincoln Gardner has a chance to have a great year. I think we have some young safeties coming up. Both Malin Montgomery and Anthony Lewis are both going to be young. But I'll tell you, I think the guy on defense is going to sneak up on everybody. You know what I mean? Is Kenneth Gibbs. I think moving him over to safety has been a huge move for us. And I think he's rangy. I think he'll be a kid that everybody's going to be like, where the crap did he come from in the secondary? Because he's a really physical and aggressive kid. A kid moving from playing quarterback last year to now being a safety. I mean, it's a huge move for him, and I can't wait to see him have a great year. And then, obviously we've got a couple of a few corners that that have got, college offers and are pretty athletic. You've got young man Jaden Bibbs who moved in. He's really good, can play football. We've got a young man, Isaiah Witherspoon, who played JV for us last year, who's really good, can play. I think we've got some key pieces. We've got some talent. Like I said, just not a lot of experience. When we put it all together and they finally get it, we're going to be just fine.
I know you don't like or put a lot of emphasis on predictions or polls or prognostications. You're in the conversation in the district. You're in the conversation as one of the top teams in 6A football in DFW, and in some national outlets have you on their radar as well. What does that mean to you as a coach going into your fourth season in a program, making the program yours? What does that say to you as a leader of a young team? How does that play in? Where is that in your mind? Is it in your mind at all? And again, is that something you even want to focus on?
Man, to be honest with you, that's for the fans and everybody else. That doesn't bother me. I don't look at it because they don't understand what's going on in your program every year from year to year. That's somebody just outside perspective looked at what you've done the last 3 years and think they got to keep this upward trajectory. And I think that's right to some extent, but I think every year is its own. And I think that's all preseason stuff, and I don't put much stock in it. I just say, let's go play. We'll see where we are when the dust clears. Game starts at 7 tomorrow night, week 1, and we got to go 1-0. That's the goal, to just try to go 1-0 every week to see where we are when the dust clears at the end of the season.
If we were to re-rack the interviews that we've done over the years with you, there is such a level of consistency when it comes to polls. There is such a level of consistency when it comes to goals, the 1-0 every week. You are the model of consistency, and that is what has got this program where it is. And Coach, thank you for spending a few minutes with us here at halftime game 1. And we're sure excited for the rest of tonight and the rest of the season. So thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You guys have a good day.
All right, that was head coach Antonio Wiley and an encore presentation of our season preview, season kickoff interview with him that we did and aired last week in full during the halftime of the Coppell game against Saxe. And we have some good news for you. The officials are now making their way, walking onto the fields, and we're starting to see more team personnel come out. The Lightning has really shifted off to the east. And so we appear to be in pretty good shape. And knock on wood, let's find some right back here. Thank you for not knocking on my head. We appear to be only minutes away from kicking off this football game between the Cowboys and the Waxahachie Indians. So we're going to get our pregame show back on track. And so when we come back in just a moment, we are going to play, as was promised earlier, Two Truths and a Lie with Dakota.
Hey.
Two Truths and a Lie. Coppell Cowboy football theme when the Energy Out of Countdown to Kickoff pregame show rolls on in just a moment.
For those with pure food indulgence, Anamiya's Tex-Mex is the place for you. Anamiya's uses the freshest ingredients in all dishes to offer you the best dining experience. Treat yourself to more than 50 menu choices from the classic to the creative Mexican dish. And not only is Anamiya's the best Mexican restaurant in Coppell, but they're also a top Dallas caterer. Located on the northwest corner of Denton Tap and Sandy Lake, remember, everyone goes home happy after eating Anamiya's. Anamiya's, where contemporary meets sabor. Online at anamiyas.com.
Are you looking for your young athlete to take the next step? Then check out Performance Course, the #1 training program in the country for school-age athletes. Performance Course is an unrivaled approach to progressively improving athletic ability. This unique course combines sound, proven strength and conditioning principles with the latest methodologies in a dynamic training environment to give your athlete a physical and mental advantage over the competition. Check out the available Coppell ISD-specific courses online by clicking on the Coppell logo at performancecourse.com.
Hey, yo, student section! I'm here with your boy, Cowboy Carl, and we need to tell you something. The Mix is a party that happens every Wednesday night at Fellowship Church for all students, and I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. Follow at The Mix FC for all the details. And go Cowboys!
Homeowners in the DFW, listen up. Have you ever considered owning your own power by going solar? Well, my name is Dylan Olson with Infinity Solar USA. We are a locally owned and operated company to the DFW. We've helped thousands of homeowners become their own power company by going solar. We take pride in providing an amazing solar experience. Thanks to Champion Sports Radio, we've created an exclusive discount just for you. To get a free solar savings report, go ahead and give us a call at 469-868-4164. Infinity Solar USA.
Do you feel your home is too humid and slightly musty? Do you have that room or side of the house you don't use because it's too hot or too cold? Do you have family members struggling with health issues or allergies? Then contact Energy Attic and transform your living spaces by transforming your attic. Energy Attic uses a 3-part energy reduction system to make your home or office as comfortable and energy efficient as possible, saving you money, reducing your carbon footprint, and improving indoor air quality. Who doesn't want to save money, breathe cleaner air, and sleep better? Energy Attic helps improve your home climate control, reduces those cold and hot pockets, makes it more comfortable throughout, and saves you up to 40% on your energy bill. It's fast and easy to schedule your free Energy Attic audit. Simply visit energyattic.com and fill out the form. Virtual appointments are available as well. Now is the time to get your project started. So let Energy Attic show you how much you can love the comfort of your home. energyattic.com. Attic Solutions to transform your life.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Follow us on Twitter at Champion Sports, like our Facebook page at facebook.com/championsportsradio, or look for us on Instagram at Champion Sports Radio. Tell us why your team will win this week. Share when your favorite athlete is named Player of the Week, or brag about what your school alumni are up to now. That's on Twitter at Champion Sports, facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and on Instagram at Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
Welcome back to Buddy Eccles Field and the Countdown to Kickoff pregame show brought to you by Energy Attic. Improving your home's climate control, reducing hot and cold pockets, and saving money on your energy bill, all by scheduling a free Energy Attic audit. Just head to energyattic.com. Energy Attic, Attic Solutions to transform your life. The good news is that we are pretty much cleared to resume on-field activities as the Lightning counter is now down to 3-2-1, and we just got the all clear here. According to the video board here at Buddy Eccles Field, the officials are on the field now. Dakota, you did a little bit of report. Did you hear the fans here
and the crowd
giving
goes
a Bronx
wild.
cheer to the Lightning delay counter that's on the video board and the news that just came across here that we are cleared, but that does not mean we're going to play right away.
Mm-hmm.
And Dakota, what did you find out?
Yeah, we sit next to we're in the visitors box. We sit next to the visiting coaches. I thought, let me put my investigative reporting hat on and take a mosey on down next door. And basically, at minimum, everybody will have, at minimum, 20 minutes of warm-up, 20 to 30 minutes depending, but for sure 20 minutes, maybe a little more. So we're looking at a kickoff of about 8:30-ish. So 8:30 at the earliest. We don't see this going to 8:45. Let's say 8:30 to 8:45, there's going to be kickoff. So they got to get the warm-ups in. They've been sitting around for basically an hour and a half, as we kind of point out. It's kind of baseball style where the pitcher has to warm up after his team's been out there for a long time, offensively. So he's got to warm up all over again. So at least 20 minutes. So we're looking about an 8:30, 8:45 start.
Well, that's good news any way you cut it. It means we are getting closer here to football, and so we will continue to get you ready here on the expanded Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show, and it'll roll on from Buddy Eccles Field in just a moment.
Welcome to Bliss Orthodontics, where you'll experience the Bliss difference. Dr. Edau at Bliss Orthodontics is your leading Coppell orthodontist and has been serving the community for more than a decade. Bliss Orthodontics treats children and adults and can help you with braces, Invisalign, and even those affected by sleep apnea. Dr. Edau has more than 25 years of experience and has been named Best Orthodontist in North Texas by D Magazine. Bliss Orthodontics actively supports our local schools and sports teams, and they're a proud sponsor of Coppell Cowboys football. You can find them online at BlissOrtho.com.
Living in North Texas provides all of us with an amazing quality of life, including an affordable cost of living, outstanding schools, unbelievable cultural opportunities, and the best sports around. But we also have to put up with severe storms. Hi folks, Champion Sports Radio President and founder Thomas Lee here to tell you when a hail or windstorm comes through your neighborhood, do what we did and call Greenleaf Roofing. Greenleaf Roofing is a fully insured, locally owned and operated company built on the values of amazing craftsmanship, affordable options, and innovative solutions. And they are proud that those values still stand as a foundation for their business today. And did I mention Greenleaf Roofing has 24-hour emergency service available? It's nice to know Greenleaf Roofing will be there in a hurry if you need them. After the first experience, I became a customer for life and have used them on 3 different homes. But don't just take my word for it. Learn about the Greenleaf Roofing difference yourself by calling them at 972-379-9109 or go online to greenleaf-roofing.com to find out how you can get your free quote. Greenleaf Roofing, the #1 choice for all your roofing needs.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting. It's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Each year across the United States, young lives are lost to sudden cardiac arrest, and our communities are left to pick up the pieces. That's what happened in April of 2009 when Zachary Schraw lost his life to an undiagnosed heart condition after collapsing suddenly during a Plano East Senior High School football practice. After his death, Zach's loved ones knew it was time to take action to protect young hearts across North Texas from this silent killer. Since its establishment in 2009, Living for Zachary has impacted thousands of families by providing heart screenings for ages 12 to 22, donating AEDs to youth-based organizations, and training community members in the use of CPR, all with the goal of saving lives. Sudden cardiac arrest doesn't wait, so we can't either. Schedule your child's heart screening today, apply for an AED for your organization, or make a donation that could change a life forever. Together, we can give our children's hearts a second chance. Join the movement to save young hearts at livingforzachary.org today.
All right, welcome back to Buddy Eccles Field, and welcome back to the Energiana Countdown to Kickoff pregame show. Cowboys and the Waxahachie Indians have waited out a lightning delay, and so we are almost ready for football here as the Waxahachie Indians are on the field. We have not seen the Cowboys return to the field here at Buddy Eccles Field, but they're due out any moment, and we will have this much-delayed football game for you right here on Champion Sports Radio in just a few minutes. Tom Dewar, Dakota Burke here with you. And as we promised, Dakota, it's time to play 2 truths and a lie.
Oh, Lord, I'm in
trouble.
trouble.
I'm going to present 3 statements, and you're going to tell me which are the 2 truths and which is the lie. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Don't get me in trouble now.
I'm not going to get you in trouble, I promise. All right. Statement number 1. The Coppell Cowboys defense will have more takeaways this season than last season. Remember, the Cowboys ended last season with 20 total takeaways. They have 1 through 1 game.
Okay.
Statement number 2. Cowboys quarterback Carter Zingelman will win district offensive MVP at least once during his Coppell career.
Okay.
And number 3. The Coppell Cowboys will end up with more wins this season than the other Cowboys in town. All right, so defense will have more takeaways this year than last year.
Okay.
Carter Zingelman will win district offensive MVP at least once during his Coppell career. The Coppell Cowboys will end up with more wins this season than the Dallas Cowboys. Those are your 3 statements. Which are the 2 truths and which is the lie?
I think the lie will be statement number 1 about the defense having more takeaways than last year. Not because I think the defense is worse. I'm going to preface that right now. But I think this defense is built more for getting sacks and negative yard plays. So I don't think takeaways are going to be the big thing this year. I think it will be the sacks and the negative plays. Carter Zingelman winning 1 offensive MVP, district offensive MVP, brother's going to win at least 2 in my opinion. And let's be honest. The Dallas Cowboys are a walking accident waiting to happen every Sunday, sometimes on Thursdays, sometimes on Mondays. So the Coppell Cowboys, the ones that don't break your heart every year, getting more wins than the Cowboys that break your heart every year, that's an easy truth in my book.
All right. So part of the concept in my mind behind playing that little game is the old adage that in football, week 1 is a lie. I don't think week one was a lie for the Coppell Cowboys. Let me ask you this. Having watched last night's Cowboys-Eagles game, week one is a lie. Which was not true? The Cowboys are going to be able to be that competitive, or the Eagles are going to let teams stick around like that?
Well, as long as their players aren't spitting on each other, then, maybe the Eagles will be back to their championship form. Again, it's been 30 years. The Dallas Cowboys are who we always thought they were, and they're going to continue to be who we think they are. And, Micah Parsons, ever heard of that name? So it's a wacky season. It is just 1 week for them, but if you're a Cowboy fan, I'm sorry. Dallas Cowboy fan, to be clear.
All right, here is the coin toss as we are getting closer and closer to football. The toss is in the air. The Cowboys have won the toss, and they will defer. All right, we're getting closer to football, and you're listening to the Energy Attic Countdown to Kickoff pregame show. We are almost there, folks. This is Coppell Cowboy Football on Champion Sports Radio.
Homeowners in the DFW, listen up. Have you ever considered owning your own power by going solar? Well, my name is Dylan Olson with Infinity Solar USA. We are a locally owned and operated company to the DFW. We've helped thousands of homeowners become their own power company by going solar. We take pride in providing an amazing solar experience. Thanks to Champion Sports Radio, we've created an exclusive discount just for you. To get a free solar savings report, go ahead and give us a call at 469-868-4164. Infinity Solar USA.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
We don't play. We dominate.
Welcome back to Buddy Eccles Field. The Countdown to Kickoff pregame show is almost complete, but before we put it to bed and get ready for this one, it's time for Dakota's Keys to the Game, brought to you by JMC McDonald's.
Yeah, first off, it's no freebies. The last thing Waxahachie's offense need is any help. Disciplined football will always, especially this week, give you the best chance to at least go up against a talented offense. And secondly, got to throw things off balance. Waxahachie showed last week they could do it all with 200 yards on the ground and in the air. If you take away one of those aspects, you can make them one-dimensional and make them beat you that way, or at least attempt to. And tonight's Keys to the Games, as always, brought to you by JMC McDonald's, locally owned and proudly supporting the Coppell Cowboys. JMC says, finally, let's go, big man.
Finally. Teams are lined up on the field. They're ready for the anthems. We're only minutes away from kickoff now. It's the Coppell Cowboys and the Waxahachie Indians in the home opener for Coppell. And it's live on Champion Sports Radio, and it kicks off next.
At Frost, it's about award-winning service. When you have an account with Frost, you have a relationship with Frost. They'll answer the phone when you call 24/7 right here in Texas, and they'll be there for you with a square deal and prudent financial advice and tools to help you with all the milestones in the years ahead. Frost is your corner and around the corner. Frost is expanding across the Metroplex, and they're committed to supporting the communities they serve. While other banks are closing locations, Frost is bringing their people from banking, investments, and insurance into more corners of the Metroplex. Deposit and loan products are offered through Frost Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Coppell Cowboys, we want to personally invite you to join us this Sunday at Fellowship Church in Grapevine.
For over 3 decades, Pastor Ed Young and Fellowship Church have been creatively and boldly communicating the Bible.
For more information, visit fellowshipchurch.com and go Cowboys!
UT Southwestern is the proud sponsor of Coppell High School's First Responders Night. Along with its main campus in Dallas, UT Southwestern sees patients in Frisco, Richardson, Plano, the Park Cities, Las Colinas, Fort Worth, Redbird, and now open in Coppell. UT Southwestern is the #1 hospital in DFW, named by U.S. News and World Report. Thank you, first responders. Go Cowboys!
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
From Buddy Eccles Field in Coppell, it's the Coppell Cowboys and the Waxahachie Indians, a pair of Week 1 winners, both looking to make a statement against difficult pre-district opponents. Hi again, everyone, and thanks for staying with us through a weather delay. Alongside Dakota Burke, I'm Tom Dewar. Welcome to Coppell Cowboys football, broadcasting coast to coast and around the world on Champion Sports Radio. It's great to have you with us once again tonight. Dakota, we saw a lot from the Cowboys last Friday night in their win over Saxe. What do they need to carry over from last week into this week tonight to be successful against Waxahachie?
They just need to carry out the fact that they basically had no negative plays. Carter stayed upright when he was back to pass, and pretty much the only time he went down is when he dove down for a first down or touchdown. So keep him upright. Keep doing what you did like you did last week. Defensively, cut down the penalties. Like I said in the keys to the game, this Waxahachie team does not need your help to get free yards. They can get it themselves, so keep the laundry on the field. Off the field, I should say.
We continue to keep a little bit of a close eye on the weather. We know there's some stuff out to the west, but we're through that. What came through here earlier, your Infinity Solar USA kickoff temperature is 80 degrees. Get your exclusive discount and free solar savings report today. The Cowboys won the toss. They elected to defer, and so that means the Waxahachie Indians will get the ball first tonight. And we are finally underway from Buddy Eccles Field. A short line drive kickoff taken at the 18-yard line, and returning the ball out is Kamal Jones, and he's finally brought down. They're going to give him the 29-yard line here is where he was able to get to before he was driven backwards. So that's where Waxahachie will start, from their own 29-yard line. And we will get another look at Jerry Meyer III. And Meyer was a starting quarterback. This is his second year as a starting quarterback for Waxahachie, and a really impressive young man.
Yeah, last year in his first year of 6A football, as he was a transfer from Nevada, 3,165 yards, 28 touchdowns. Last year against Coppell, 262 and 3 touchdowns. So a pro-style quarterback who's got a lot of weapons around him.
So a first down and full 10 as we get underway here tonight. 3 wide receivers set with Meyer in the shotgun. He gives the handoff. It's Taylor Strange, and he has got a lot of room, and it's going to be a flea flicker pass, and it is dropped. Zayden Smith, as Strange rolled out and through. That did not work out.
Wow. That was my reaction. The first play, we'll call it a double reverse flea flicker, couple handoffs, pitch it back to Meyer, and he went for Smith, and he had nothing but the end zone in front of him, and he couldn't come down with it. Would have been a touchdown.
They had a lot of time to cook that up in the locker room.
They did.
So it'll be a second down and 10 with Meyer in the gun, and he's got Strange to his left. They're after Meyer in the backfield. He completes a dump-off pass. It's a screen pass out to the 35-yard line and out to about the 36.5 before Strange is brought down. Taylon Furlow Strange last week out of the backfield, 114 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. 1 catch, no yards, and he picks up a full 7 there.
Elijah Mendoza lost his helmet, some extracurricular activity, so he'll have to come off for 1 play at least, and it looks like Lane Fincher coming in. He's kind of a fullback, halfback hybrid, so Mendoza, one of their big parts of that offensive line on the right side, will have to sit out for this third down.
3 wide receivers set, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. The handoff is to Strange, and he's fighting for every yard there. He's going to be close to the first down. I think he's going to be about a half yard short.
Yeah, he's just short.
He is just short. He needed to get to the 39, and he is just shy of the 38-yard line. So it's going to be a 4th and a bit of a long one. We have to tell you that the clock here is not up on the scoreboard. That is not up on the video board, and that is the only clock here at Buddy Eccles Field. So we are unable to give you time updates. When it comes back, we will certainly continue to give you time updates. But as of right now, it's 4th down and 1. Back up to the line of scrimmage, and a timeout called by Coppell before they could snap the ball on a 4th and 1. This team timeout brought to you by Animia's Tex-Mex. For those with pure food indulgence, Animia's is the place for you. They use the freshest ingredients to offer you the best dining experience in Coppell at Denton Tap and Sandy Lake Roads and online anytime at NMES.com. It would be a huge momentum boost here, momentum swing if the Cowboys were able to get off the field defensively. And this is what Coach Wiley talked to us about in that pregame interview. Get off the field on money downs.
Yeah, and this is a 4th and 1 that, at least on that play, Waxahachie was going for it. And, it's pre-district. You're trying to test things out. And, you had it pretty easy last week against Ennis with the thwomping that you gave them. This is a tougher test, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go for it here on 4th and 1 and try to get that yard. So a big money down here early for this defense.
So the ball is on the left hash mark for Waxahachie, driving from video board end to field house end. They finally put the score bug up on the video board here. So we can tell you there's 10:28 left to go for this 4th down and 1 play. Just underway after a long lightning delay here at Buddy Eccles Field. They bring in the jumbo package, and Myers under center. He pushes forward, and he has the first down easily as he is out to the 41-yard line. Not really a tush-push necessarily there, but a whole lot of emphasis on going up the middle.
Yeah, and that was
Nolan Bernard who was able to get through there as they used the backup quarterback Bernard in his second season backing up Jerry Meyer. So Meyer back out there and will be back in the shotgun for this 1st down and 10. Now from the 41-yard line, left hash mark. The Indians now with a 2-back set and a tight formation. Play action, Meyer rolls and throws, and that ball goes whizzing past Cohen Brown, and after it goes flying past him, then they haul out the flag, and they're going to call a pass interference, I think, on Jaden Bibbs. But that's really that's a difficult one to swallow in any way because that ball went so far away from him. I don't know that was catchable had he not, even if he was bumped. Even if he was bumped or held, and I'm not to say Bibbs did not have a hold of him, but still he would not have been able to catch that ball. But the Cowboys penalty will give Waxahachie a 1st down and move him into Coppell territory to the 44-yard line.
And I agree with you 100% on that. The big issue is they're putting themselves in positions for referees to make these calls. Yep. And that's what you have to avoid. You want to keep it out of the officials' hands and pockets of the flags.
Right hash mark, left into the field. 44-yard line and a 1st down and 10 with 9:50 to go here, and there was movement up front. That's going to be a false start against Waxahachie, so they're going to get 5 yards of that back. So that'll move back to the 49-yard line.
They were trying to go direct snap to Philo Strange, and so be ready for that as we saw that there, but didn't really see it as they go back a couple yards there.
They're going to bring Lane Fincher back out there. And they're going to bring in Carson Mansfield, their backup right guard. He's going to come out there as well. 2 wide receivers to the left. And they're going to go with the tight end on the left end of the line. On this 1st down and now 15. Myers drops out of the shotgun, looks long, throws over the top, and that one is incomplete. Nearly caught Jordan Thompson-Woods in the middle of the field down around the 13-yard line, and he made an effort to get to it, just not able to get there and get connected with the football.
Yeah, and Kenneth Gibbs Jr., that name sounds familiar. He was the backup QB last year. Now he's playing safety. He had to make a hustle play to catch up there and at least cause a little bit of havoc there on that deep ball, and he did just enough. So a 2nd and 15 based off the hustle of Kenneth Gibbs.
From the 49-yard line of the Cowboys with 9:43 left to go, quarter number 1. First drive of the ball game, so no score yet. Same formation for the Indians here. And I think this is going to be another movement penalty against Waxahachie. It is. It's a false start penalty. They're 2nd on this drive. We apologize. We're not able to clearly hear the microphone of Ryan Vance competing with the bands that are playing tonight. But we do know that it was a false start against Waxahachie, which turns this now into a 2nd and 20. So that ends up being just a 5-yard penalty that the Cowboys picked up there on that pass interference, yard-wise. The ball now back in Waxahachie territory at the 46. Meyer under pressure, throws long, and if he can get connected, he can't. And another penalty flag. Another penalty flag on the Cowboy defense here on a ball that was wildly overthrown.
I mean, where Not just
They
that,
dropped it at the Cowboy 30.
they're going to get a hold. That's the only thing I can.
A hold in the route up the field. The ball was intended for Cohen Brown
And they call
again.
pass interference again. That's an outrageous one. That one's outrageous. That ball's not even close, and pass interference.
Even if he hadn't been interfered with, again, there was no way he was going to catch up with that. And I'm getting frustrated because 2 weeks in a row now, there have been some really ticky-tack calls against this Cowboys defense that doesn't necessarily deserve that. That'll give the Indians a first down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Meyer goes to the ground, and tripping and falling and helping out the Cowboy defense there is Strange. He falls over the line of scrimmage, and they're going to mark him at the line of scrimmage. So that run goes for nothing, and it'll be a second down and 10. I try not to be too much of a homer necessarily, but those are two bad penalty calls, I think, against the Cowboy defense early on, and we're starting to see a drive shape up like that Saxey drive, that long Saxey drive last week. And I think that's what I have some PTSD from that still. 9:02 left to go here in the first quarter. Two wide receivers to the right side for Meyer. Meyer has a lot of time to throw, and he throws over the middle. He's got to complete to the 29-yard line. It should be enough to move the sticks for a first down to the future Longhorn, Cohen Brown, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, into coverage as well. Decent coverage, but rifle it there to Brown for the first down. Hey, listen, to take a Southern saying, we know who butters our biscuit, so if we're a little Homer-esque, why not? I mean, that's who we do it for, so... But, yeah.
But you want to see these games not, as you said earlier, determined by calls.
Exactly.
8:30 to go here on this first drive of the ball game. No score. Waxahachie driving in Coppell territory from the 29-yard line. On a first down and 10. Strange has some room. Stutter step move, now kicking it out to the left side. Sheds a tackle, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 25 of the 22-yard line.
Strange had to really work for that one. Started in the middle, had worked all the way to the left. There is a flag, though. This might be a holding call.
This game has, this evening has gotten off to a rather auspicious start.
Not a sponsor, but I hope you got the Tide Pods ready for those flags.
They're all over the field as this one is a Waxahachie penalty, and it'll back them up. And it backs them up to the 38-yard line.
What is that now? 4 or 5 penalties already on this drive alone. I think it's
5 combined.
5, okay. Mind you, that's
3 against Waxahachie, 2 against the Cowboys.
And they had 8 all last week, so they're already creeping up halfway to their whole game total last week.
First down and 19 from the left hash mark, left end of the field for Jerry Meyer. 4 wide receivers out there. Strange is the running back, sidecar left. Shotgun snap, Meyer drops, throws to the right side and caught, but a good quick tackle there made by Bibbs. No yards after catch, but it does give Waxahachie back to the 22-yard line to set up a second and short.
From the Cowboys' 22-yard line, second down.
7:30 to go, quarter number 1. Long drive here for Waxahachie right out of the gate. It'll be a second down and 3. Right hash mark. 2 wide receivers to the left side. 1 lined up on the numbers, 1 on the hash mark. And bursting his way through the middle and down to the 15-yard line, picking up the first down, is Strange. So another first down here on the 9th play of the drive.
Part of being a balanced offense is, you can do it both ways, obviously, but you can also, even without the help of penalties, you can extend these drives and really get the defense tired.
A lot of protection in the back. They bring in the tight end, Fincher, and line him up in the backfield. Jerry Meyer is able to get away from a sack and throws it towards the sideline. Incomplete. He was lucky to go away from that sack as he was wrapped up.
There's intentional grounding. I was waiting for that flag. There was no receiver.
There was no
close.
receiver near there, but it looked like he heaved it in the direction, and it's not often you see that called at this level, and that comes with a loss of down. So Dalen Montgomery got through and got him in the backfield. So an intentional grounding penalty takes him now back to the 28-yard line. It is now 2nd and 23. 4 wide receivers set out there, 3 to the left and 1 to the right for Meyer. He's got Strange sidecar left, trying to draw the Cowboys offside there. He's got 6 seconds on the play clock as he goes to the line and makes a check. Now gets back in the shotgun. 2 on the play clock. 1 gets the snap off just in time. All-out blitz from the Cowboys. Complete to Strange in the backfield, and the Cowboys take care of business at the 30-yard line. Another play for a loss there, and a big tackle for a loss by the Cowboys.
Yeah, there on the screen on top of a blitz, that's a money, kind of a combination of plays if you're a defense, and it works there to get that. So a 3rd and 26 now.
Aaron Isbell, the Coppell ISD or Coppell football defensive player of the week last week, makes the tackle there. 6-12 and counting, first quarter. Ball now on the 31-yard line for this 3rd and 26 for Waxahachie. Cowboys drop back. They have 3 down linemen, and they move everybody back inside the 20. Easy screen pass to Jordan Smith. Picks up a block, and then he falls down. He fell down at the 27-yard line. This has got to be the strangest drive up the field I've seen from an offense and a defense in a while. And so now with a 4th down and long, the Waxahachie Indians are bringing on the field goal team and Ethan Guillen. This will be his first field goal attempt of the season. The ball is at the 28-yard line.
Looking about a 45, 46-yard field goal. Wind has died down quite a bit.
From the left hash mark, kicking towards the fieldhouse end. The snap is good, and the kick is partially blocked, but it gets through. It looked like the Cowboys special teams got a hand on it, but Ian is able to punch it through. And so a 45-yarder puts the Indians on the board with 5:11 left to go in the first quarter. This is Coppell Cowboys football on the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboys Broadcast Network.
Welcome to Bliss Orthodontics, where you'll experience the Bliss difference. Dr. Edau at Bliss Orthodontics is your leading Coppell orthodontist and has been serving the community for more than a decade. Bliss Orthodontics treats children and adults and can help you with braces, Invisalign, and even those affected by sleep apnea. Dr. Edau has more than 25 years of experience and has been named Best Orthodontist in North Texas by D Magazine. Bliss Orthodontics actively supports our local schools and sports teams, and they're a proud sponsor of Coppell Cowboys football. You can find them online at BlissOrtho.com.
UT Southwestern is the proud sponsor of Coppell High School's First Responders Night. Along with its main campus in Dallas, UT Southwestern sees patients in Frisco, Richardson, Plano, the Park Cities, Las Colinas, Fort Worth, Redbird, and now open in Coppell. UT Southwestern is the #1 hospital in DFW, named by U.S. News and World Report. Thank you, first responders. Go Cowboys!
Waxahachie gets on the board first after a 45-yard field goal from Ethan Guillen. After a long drive littered with yellow flags, Waxahachie draws first blood here on this Friday night. Good to have you along with us. Tom Dewar, Dakota Burke in the Champion Sports Radio broadcast booth at Buddy Eccles Field. The home opener for the Cowboys, and the Cowboys offense takes the field. And we get another look at Carter Zingelman after impressive Week 1 performance against Saxe.
Yeah, he won every award there was to win after going 16-19, 198 yards. All his touchdowns, all 3 of them were on the ground, 11 for a $102.
A tight formation here on a first down play from the 25-yard line. They hand the ball off. Jaden George is wrestled backwards after he gets to the line of scrimmage. A gang of white shirt tacklers right there to stop the run.
Jaden George getting his first opportunity to see the stars on this Waxahachie defense. Again, this is a team that doesn't give up points, doesn't give up yards. They only gave up 270 yards, most of it on the ground. So this team is hard to beat on defense.
Zingelman drops into the shotgun. 3 wide receivers out there with the tight end on the right end of the line. That's Evan Mackin. They send Jacob Inene in motion to the left side. Zingelman, quick throw, and he's got it. Almost had a completion and went bouncing off the hands of Tristan Maury McKee. And so incomplete. That'll bring up a 3rd down and long. McKee was in the flat, the left flat, just not able to bring that ball in. And so a third down and long after a long drive by Waxahachie to get on the board. 3-0 is where we are with 4:27 left to go in the first quarter. Game delayed by more than an hour because of lightning in the area. As you mentioned, the wind has kind of died down here, and it is a very pleasant evening. Zingelman in the shotgun. He's got George now splitting out to the right side, over between the numbers and the sideline. Zingelman drops, pass rush coming, complete over the middle. Big play there, out past the 40 to the 42-yard lines. Eshawn Mayer grabs that on the slant route coming across the middle of the field, and it's a first down for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Carter had a couple different options across the middle there. He went for the wide receiver / backup QB, Eshawn Mayer, and he gets his first catch and a first down for the boys.
They're bringing in Diego Rodriguez as a wide receiver. It's the first time we've seen him on the field. He did not play last week due to injury. It is a 3 wide receiver, all to the right side of the formation. They got the tight end, or pardon me, they have Eshawn Mayer lined up right behind the right tackle. So 4 wide receiver set with George sidecar right. George takes the handoff and goes crashing up the left side of the line and out to the 45-yard line, picks up a handful on that carry, about 3 yards. So the Cowboys could use, the offense really needs a sustained drive here to get even on the scoreboard, and the defense needs the offense to have a sustained drive here to catch their breath. Left hash mark driving towards the video board end with 3:14 left to go in the first quarter. Zingelman splits George out to the right side and flags. And I wonder if that's it's going to be a false start. False start by the left guard, Austin Hines. So backs the Cowboys up 5 paces. It'll bring up now a 2nd and 12.
Still second down.
Back to the 40-yard line. Cowboys at their own 40-yard line. 15 yards on the drive so far. 4 plays, and that penalty sets them back 5. Zingelman, with 13 on the play clock, goes to the line, makes a check. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. With George right off of Zingelman's right hip. Takes the shotgun snap, the pitch out in the backfield. George trying to turn the corner, starter step move out to the 41-yard line. Was able to elude one tackler, not able to elude the second. So he picks up to the 41. And so that'll bring up a 3rd down and long for the Cowboys, again on the drive. 2:25 and counting, quarter number 1. Waxahachie with a 3-0 lead. So 3rd and 11 is where we are now. Cowboys in all black tonight. Black helmets, black jerseys, black pants. Waxahachie in all white. Zingelman takes the shotgun snap. Pass rush coming. He hits the easy button over to George and a backfield screen out towards midfield. It'll be short of the first down. They're going to mark him at the 48-yard line. And the Cowboys have a little bit of a decision to make here on what will be a 4th and about 3.5, 4.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a 4th and about 4. Quick back up to the line of scrimmage with Zingelman in the shotgun as they try to draw Waxahachie off with a hard count. Now they bring Diego Rodriguez in motion over to the right side, and they adjust the formation. Mayer lines up right next to the right guard, or pardon me, the right tackle. 3 wide receivers set, 3 on the play clock. They got to get this snapped. Zingelman gets the snap. It's a high snap, and it's a quick kick, and it's going to bounce inside the 20 and down to about the 10-yard line. All right.
There you go. Didn't know Carter had somewhat of a leg on him.
So they got to the 48-yard line. They picked up 23 yards on the drive. But it's a Zingelman quick kick, and Waxahachie will take over at the 11-yard line with 1:11 left to go in this first quarter. And a 3-0 lead for the Indians. So the Cowboys not able to get anything out of their first drive. They trail by a field goal, and they go back on defense. The defense just got off the field after being out there for more than 6 minutes of this first quarter. Meyer, and that one is off the hands of his receiver, and it went backwards. Jordan Thompson Woods had that hit him in the hands and bounce off of his hands and back towards the end zone. So an incomplete pass. Second straight incomplete pass to start a drive for Waxahachie. 1:07 left to go, first quarter. Waxahachie up 3-0. Meyer in the shotgun, standing back at his own 5-yard line. Left hash mark. Takes the snap. Quick drop. Quick throw. And that one goes sailing by his wide receiver, Cohen Brown. I could make a comment there, but I'm not going to.
I was going to say something, but I won't say it either.
I'm just glad it didn't happen. So it'll be a 3rd down and 10 with 1:01 left to go, first quarter. Cowboys looking to make this a quick stop here on defense. It's already been a long night. 3 down linemen, they drop the rest back. Meyer, a little bit of a pass rush, throws over the middle, and it's intercepted. It's picked off by Dalen Montgomery. Montgomery with his first pick of the year, and it's got the Cowboys in business. It's a CLC Roofing Cowboys turnover. The Cowboys defense has you covered, and CLC Roofing does too. You're reliable. Dallas Roofing Company.
Well, the Cowboys trying to make me a liar. I said they wouldn't have more takeaways than they did last season, and already their second one of the year. Dalen Montgomery reading the route well, getting the interception. And this Cowboy offense with 56 seconds left gets to start at the Waxahachie 30-yard line.
Big pickoff there from the 30-yard line, Lyle, for the Cowboys, trying to turn that takeaway into points. Second pick of the year. 3 wide receivers out there for Zingelman, all to the right side. They hand off, and they try to go up the middle. And Zingelman now will jump in there to try to drive the pile. Nothing doing, and a pickup of about a yard on that first down carry. And that was Dylan McAfee, the ball carrier there. Clock ticking down to a half minute to go here in the first quarter. They'll make a personnel change here as they're going to send off the tight end Evan Mackin, and they're going to bring Diego Rodriguez back out on the field for this second down at 9.5. They have to get a play off because there's 7 seconds on the play clock. It's a 10-second difference. Crew Davis in motion from left to right. The play action, flags down, completed pass to Nene, and he is in for the touchdown. He split some defenders, hit the gas, and went. We'll see if the touchdown stands with the penalty flags on the field.
Well, they loaded the box there, did Waxahachie, so.
And here is the penalty. It is going to be against Waxahachie, and that is Carter Zingelman's first touchdown pass as a Coppell Cowboy. What a strike there to Jacob Anene.
Yeah, just brought the blitz. Waxahachie loaded the box. The offside penalty is just a formality, and that left the middle wide open for Jacob Anene, who had to break maybe one tackle, and then it was just nothing but the end zone in front of him to give the Cowboys an early lead with 5 seconds left in the first.
Cowboys are out there for the Bliss Orthodontics extra points. It is up, and it is good. And the Cowboys take the lead in the final seconds of the first quarter, 7-3 with 5 seconds left to go in quarter number 1. This is Coppell Cowboy football on the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboy Broadcast Network.
Hey y'all, it's me, Cowboy Carl, and I'm here to tell you something. All students need to be at the Mix every single Wednesday night. It's a party. I'll see you there. Follow at the Mix FC for more details, and go Cowboys!
Johnson Management Company is an independent family-owned McDonald's franchisee serving North Texas communities since 1986. At JMC, they actively support their communities through their involvement with schools, youth sports, and local charities. Your locally owned Coppell McDonald's proudly supports the Coppell Cowboys and reminds you to download the McDonald's app for all the best deals. Place your pickup order, the South Denton Tap Road location here in Coppell, or if you can't make it in, have your favorites delivered right to you. JMC McDonald's says, let's go, Big Red.
Cowboys take a 7-3 lead here with 5 seconds left in quarter number 1. Carter Zingelman gets his first touchdown pass as a Cowboy. It was a 2-play, 30-yard touchdown drive that took only 46 seconds. As the Jay Macklin's Cowboys scoring drive. Here's the ensuing kickoff and has a head of steam and running out towards midfield. They're not going to catch it. He's got a convoy of blockers ahead of him. And Demarion Cooper takes it all the way in for a touchdown. No, pardon me, that's Jordan Smith. Jordan Smith returns that all the way for a touchdown. The Cowboys come down and score and then give up the big play kickoff return all the way to the house.
And they're going to have to see for the first time how their offense responds after getting that great play and then something that could mentally just destroy you if you let it. A kickoff return for a touchdown as the Indians pinning the extra point. Could be up 10-7 here, and it's the end of the first quarter once they get this extra point. So they're going to have to sulk in that a little bit longer than they would normally have to.
Ethan Guillen is on for that extra point attempt. Low snap. The kick is good. How quickly things change around here. With 5 seconds to go, the Cowboys were up by the score of 7-3, and now they trail 10-7 after that kickoff return for a touchdown. There were flags there on the extra point attempt. And before we go to break, we will get this sorted out for you.
Yeah, it's way after the fact, too. Probably some discussions, we'll say, from the players on the field.
Good field goal after the play was over. A personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Kicking team number 54. A 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the ensuing kickoff.
So that's Carson Mansfield, the backup right guard, playing the offensive line on special teams, gets flagged for a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. But the touchdown stands, the extra point is good, and the Indians jump back out in front of the Cowboys 10-0 as we finish the first quarter. Second quarter of football coming up next. This is Coppell Cowboy Football on the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboy Broadcast Network.
Living in North Texas provides all of us with an amazing quality of life, including an affordable cost of living, outstanding schools, unbelievable cultural opportunities, and the best sports around. But we also have to put up with severe storms. Hi folks, Champion Sports Radio President and Founder Thomas Lee here to tell you when a hail or windstorm comes through your neighborhood, do what we did and call Greenleaf Roofing. Greenleaf Roofing is a fully insured, locally owned and operated company built on the values of amazing craftsmanship, affordable options, and innovative solutions. And they are proud that those values still stand as a foundation for their business today. And did I mention Greenleaf Roofing has 24-hour emergency service available? It's nice to know Greenleaf Roofing will be there in a hurry if you need them. After the first experience, I became a customer for life and have used them on 3 different homes. But don't just take my word for it. Learn about the Greenleaf Roofing difference yourself by calling them at 972-379-9109 or go online to greenleaf-roofing.com to find out how you can get your free quote. Greenleaf Roofing, the #1 choice for all your roofing needs.
Short kickoff to start this second quarter. It's fielded at the 15 by the Cowboys. McAfee tries to spin away from a tackler, and he's out past the 35-yard line. And that's where the Cowboys will start their next offensive possession. They just scored a moment ago and then gave up the kickoff return touchdown. It is now 10-7, Waxahachie in front. Tom Doerr and Dakota Burke here with you in the Champion Sports Radio broadcast booth at Buddy Eccles Field. Home opener for the Cowboys, senior night for the Cowboys. And they find themselves in a fight here.
And thankfully took care of the senior night stuff before we got delayed.
Cowboys will take the ball, driving now from video board end to fieldhouse end from the 37-yard line. They're getting the clock reset because the clock did not stop with the end of that kickoff return. 11:47 is back on the clock, and that's what it should be, according to head referee Ryan Vance. Cowboys will drive, starting here from the left hash mark. The 2 wide receivers out there and the tight end on the right end of the line. They have both tight ends out there, bookending the line. Zingelman's going to keep her, and he's going to take it out past the 40 and gang tackled at about the 43-yard line. We saw Zingelman run a lot last week. He was the team's leading rusher, 11 carries, 102 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a fumble.
Yeah, Zingelman has this ability to pretty much always make the first guy miss, and that's what he did there to get those extra yards. So a 6-yard gain, a 2nd and 4. It's a dangerous weapon. He can do it all with his length With his legs, he could take off and stride quickly.
3 wide receivers set out there for the Cowboys. 2 to the right and 1 now in motion from left to right. It's Maury McKee. They go to Maury McKee out of the backfield, and that is caught, and a flag that comes flying in. That's going to be either a face mask or a horse collar or something, because he had him up around the shoulder pads, up around the collar, and the flag came out there right after he caught the ball and right after the defender made first contact. And the defender looked like it was Hector Calderon. We'll see what is said here by Ryan Vance. They're going to say a push off by the Cowboys. Okay.
What do we know?
I think we've proven that a couple times so far this season. They did not show a replay here on the video board, so we're not able to see that. But that's going to back up the Cowboys significantly. They had 12 penalties called against them last week to only 8 for Waxahachie. Ball now back inside the 30, back to the 27-yard line. So it'll be a 2nd down and 19 for Zingelman and the boys. 4 wide receivers out there. His tailback is Jaden George, and he is right off his left hip. Zingelman takes the shotgun snap. He runs for his life now, and that one goes through the hands of George and then off the back of right guard Hayden Yepes and falls to the carpet. They're able to get pressure through. We talked about that in our extended weather delay pregame show. But Waxahachie's been able to get pressure through at times and has disrupted Zingelman's rhythm. But Zingelman has also dealt pretty well with the pressure coming from all sides. He's been able to get off quick passes to his receivers.
Yeah, the touchdown he got earlier to Anene was pretty much a full-blown 8-men-in-the-box blitz. He got it to Anene over the middle for the touchdown. So, and that pressure came in real quick, and he was able to make something happen out of it.
Whistles before the snap, and I think the Cowboys are taking a timeout here. This is the Cowboys' 2nd timeout. This one brought to you by UT Southwestern, now open in Coppell, offering pediatric, adolescent, and primary care and cardiology care. #1 hospital in DFW, as named by U.S. News and World Report. 10:32 left on the 2nd quarter clock. And while we have a moment here, let's step away. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. From Buddy Eccles Field in Coppell to fans around the world, this is Coppell Cowboy football.
You're listening to the home of the Coppell Cowboys, Champion Sports Radio.
5-time national champion.
10.5 left to go, quarter number 2. Tom Dewar, Dakota Burke here with you. 10-7 Indians in front of the Cowboys. Cowboys now have a 3rd down and 19 in their own territory, back at their own 28-yard line. Long opening drive for Waxahachie that resulted in a field goal. Cowboys then punted and then intercepted Jerry Meyer on the next defensive possession for the Cowboys. Scored a touchdown, but then gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown. And on this 3rd down, Crew Davis goes in motion from left to right. He's now lined up along the numbers on the right side. Zingelman drops, throws over to him. He's got a completed catch over there and diving out to the 40-yard line. He'll be short of the 1st down, but he picked up a nice chunk of yards there out to, see where they mark him here. They're going to mark him right at the 40-yard line, so that's going to bring up a 4th and long. And so real no choice here for the Cowboys as they're going to bring on Jonathan Yowell to punt. 1 punt for him last week, 41 yards. Pinned the Saxy Mustangs inside the 20 on that one. So the Cowboys get the ball out to the 40-yard line. They pick up a total of 3 yards on this drive. So Yowell standing back at his own 26, the return man staying at his 20. Yowell nearly had that one blocked. Deep spiral kick to the 21-yard line, taking off and towards the near sideline before the fans for Waxahachie, and this one's going to go the distance. This one's going to go all the way. Cohen Brown this time returns it 79 yards. So the Cowboys special teams has given up a kickoff return for a touchdown and now a punt return for a touchdown. And the Indians take a 16-7 lead pending the extra point.
It's probably the most overlooked part of the game. Everybody focuses on offense and everybody focuses on defense. But here we have a special teams unit in Waxahachie that has scored 14 points in a game, and the offense has only scored 3. That third element of the game is rearing its ugly head against the Cowboys right now, and guess what? The offense will have to come right back out and do it all over again.
Ethan Guillen out for another extra point attempt. It's his second of the night. He's hit an extra point and a field goal. The extra point is good, and the Indians have taken a 17-7 lead on 2 special teams touchdowns. With 9.5 left to go, quarter number 2. The Cowboys trail 17-7. This is Coppell Cowboy football on the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboys Broadcast Network.
For those with pure food indulgence, Anamiya's Tex-Mex is the place for you. Anamiya's uses the freshest ingredients in all dishes to offer you the best dining experience. Treat yourself to more than 50 menu choices from the classic to the creative Mexican dish. And not only is Anamiya's the best Mexican restaurant in Coppell, but they're also a top Dallas caterer. Located on the northwest corner of Denton Tap and Sandy Lake, remember, everyone goes home happy after eating Anamiya's. Anamiya's, where contemporary meets sabor. Online at anamiyas.com.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting. It's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Back here at Buddy Echols Field, the Waxahachie Indians up 17-7 off 2 back-to-back special teams touchdowns. And we're going to take this time to shout out Fellowship Church here in the second quarter. The Mixed Youth Movement is a party every Wednesday night at 7. Be part of the incredible music, amazing giveaways, and meet some great people. The Mix at Fellowship Church is on social media. Follow them at The Mix.
So the Cowboy defense has forced a field goal and intercepted Jerry Meyer. Cowboys special teams coverage has allowed 2 big play touchdowns. This ensuing kickoff into and out of the back of the end zone. So the Cowboys offense has gotten a lot of time on the field here. And they've looked pretty good. They've had some success moving the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But just have not had the sustained drives that they're hoping for.
And the catch.
And now you have the reverse of the issue we had earlier with the Cowboys defense having a lot of time out there, and the offense is back out there.
Well, here's the catch-22. Let's say the Cowboys offense has a great drive and scores or whatnot. Defense is going to be sitting there even longer, so no matter how you put it, the defense is going to be sitting there, kind of get cold a little bit.
I guess you'd rather have your offense on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. 3 wide receivers set out there for the Cowboys. The tight end, Evan Mackin, now moves from the right side to the left side. And then we're going to have a procedure penalty against the Cowboys on a false start. Cowboys just look out of sync. Owen Rivera, the center.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing that could happen for the Cowboys is a quick drive so the defense isn't as cold, but you're asking to do that against this Waxahachie defense that we talked about in the extended pregame of, just how dominant they are. So it's a tough ask to give this offense.
So the Cowboys playing behind the chains on this drive already. First down and 15. Zingelman takes a shotgun snap. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to try to go up the middle, and he's banged into and straight down to the turf after picking up about a yard.
Number 20, Hayden Tolson. Second down.
Cade Tollison makes the stop there, returning starter, the linebacker in the middle of the field. The leading tackler for Waxahachie last week against Ennis with 12 stops. He gets one there, and it is now second down and 14. Clock ticking down to 9 minutes to go in this first half. Zingelman in the shotgun takes the snap. Pressure coming. He's going to step up, and he's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. Didn't have any place to go, so he tucked it, tried to go up the middle again. Same result. Back to the line of scrimmage this time. It'll be a third down and 14.
Cade Tollison once again getting the tackle. And yes, that is Coach Shane Tollison's son. So a leading tackler of his father and head coach being a leading tackler on this Waxahachie team, just following in the footsteps.
4 wide receivers set out there for the Cowboys, 2 to the left and 2 to the right. McAfee is the tailback to Zingelman's left. Now they split him out to the right side. Zingelman with pressure off the edges. Nice completion there, and it's Crew Davis, and he's out to midfield. And he's tripped up there inside Waxahachie territory. Great strike by Zingelman to catch a slanting Crew Davis, who renews the drive into Waxahachie territory down to the 46.
Yeah, Crew Davis caught it, and Cohen Brown, I think he thought he stripped the ball and was looking for it, and
I turned my eyes that way too. I saw Crew go, but I'm like, that didn't look like it. Cowboys make it work there. Dylan McAfee now to the right side, and he gets maybe a yard to the 45-yard line. A nice grab and go there by Davis. Made a difficult catch last week against Saxey.
This offense just needs to build a rhythm. That's what this drive really is. Build a rhythm. Other than that touchdown, they haven't had one to really go off of, so that's what they're doing here.
7:21 and counting here in the second quarter. Cowboys trail 17-7. 3 wide receivers over to the right side, all of them to the right side. The lone pass catcher on the left side is Evan Mackin on the left end of the line. Zingelman, nice quick strike. Beautiful pass to Diego Rodriguez. Touch pass to him inside the 40 and down to the 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short. Zingelman really has a lot of composure in these situations. When he's been able to get guys open, he's fired strikes to him. Crew Davis earlier on the drive on the big pickup. And just one there by Diego Rodriguez, his first catch of the season. So it'll be a 3rd down and 1. Inside, 6:35 to go. The handoff, McAfee should have the first down as he gets inside the 35-yard line. He'll get the spot on that to the 34. Cowboys get another first down here as they keep the drive alive. Inside 6.5 to go in the first half. Waxahachie in front 17-7. Cowboys looking to put a sustained drive together. They are fine keeping their defense off the field if they can get it in the end zone. 3 wides, 2 to the left, 1 to the right for Zingelman. McAfee bounces off a tackle, turns the corner, weaves himself inside the 30. Late flag comes in. Cowboy lost his helmet. Looking to see who that is. That flag came in towards the end of the run. McAfee got to the 25-yard line.
I don't want to be that guy before this penalty
Don't
happens,
be that guy.
Well, it's a little different. I'm starting to see lightning strikes again.
I know. I saw him over there, too. Don't say that too loudly, though.
I'll try not to.
So the flags are still on the field. Here's the call.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 20. Penalty back 50, result automatic first down. 53 to stay in the ball game because
So the player that lost the helmet for the Cowboys is right tackle Sihan Doris. He's able to stay in the ball game. Penalty there is the face mask that ripped the helmet off, and now we have a flag before the snap here.
And based on the body language, Coppell not happy about it.
And they're looking for an explanation. Antonio Wiley is now in the ear of Ryan Vance, trying to understand what the flag's about.
Yeah, no one even got set for anything, so it's hard to throw a flag when
right.
no one's set. I didn't see the play clock. I don't know if the play clock ever reset, so I don't see anything there.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
They haven't picked it up yet.
They haven't. They broke the huddle with 12 guys.
Okay.
So that'll back the Cowboys up. They are still in the Frost Bank red zone. At Frost, it's about award-winning service. It's a first down now and 15 to go from the 18-yard line. Right hash mark, left end of the field. The field house end of the field here at Buddy Echols Field. Nice bounce-off run there to the right side as McAfee is able to break a tackle and get towards the Cowboy sideline. He's inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
From the Indians' 14-yard line, second down.
Cowboys need a score here of some descript. It'll be a second down and 11 from the 14. They're knocking on the door. 3 wide receivers plus the tight end, all of them tight to the formation here, with McAfee to the left of Zingelman. Now they send Anene in motion to the left side. And they try to go to Anene. No, they try to go to Crew Davis, and that one goes off his hands. And Crew Davis is doubled over on the turf right now at the 5-yard line.
He took a
He's
shot.
slow to get up, yeah.
He was in the air and he took a shot. Might be just going to get the wind knocked out of him.
A little stunned, and he takes a knee. This injury timeout brought to you by Living for Zachary. Sudden cardiac arrest doesn't wait, so we can't either. Schedule your child's heart screening today. Apply for an AED for your organization and make a donation that can change a life. Join the movement at livingforzachary.org. 5:44 to go as they tend to Crew Davis at the 5-yard line. Fieldhouse end. He gets up, and he's slowly making his way off the field. He should be absolutely fine here. I think you're right. That hit while he was in the air just probably knocked the wind out of him for a moment. He doubles over. He looks like, he's having trouble catching his breath. And that is scary stuff if that's ever happened to you.
Yeah, thankfully never happened to me, but you see how
you
people react. Yeah, you haven't lived. You got the wind knocked out of you.
Oh, it is. The first time that happens to you as a kid, it is terrifying.
I mean,
you don't know what's going on.
And see, it kind of feels like this is the end for you. Like you feel like something bad's really happening. And, eventually your body collects itself. But for those 10, 15 seconds, it's not fun.
Right hash mark from the 14-yard line of the Waxahachie Indians with 5:44 to go. The Cowboys trail by 10. Need a score here. 3rd down and 11. They can get a fresh set of downs before they reach the end zone. Zingelman in the shotgun with McAfee to his right. Takes the shotgun snap. Now he's going to step up and do it himself. And he's going to curve in, and he is going to fight his way in, and he is in for the touchdown. And now there's some more pushing and shoving in the end zone. And flags come flying in. But Zingelman is in for the score, and we'll sort out the laundry here in a minute. And now there's a whole lot of pushing and shoving. And coaches are out there trying to separate these guys. There is a lot of intensity out there tonight.
Yeah. I mean, Carter lowered his shoulder, got the truck stick for a touchdown. And then, of course, you may never know. There may be some extracurricular activity and people pushing your quarterback, which if that's the case, you stand up for them. No one's going to complain about that. You'd have to be disciplined at the same. It's a hard balancing act to do. But, yeah, they'll have to sort this one out and figure out who the guilty party is, quote unquote, and how you assess it. There's been a lot of penalties for both teams, regardless of how they sort it out. Touchdown should still stand, though. There should be no issue with that.
Yep, and the Cowboys are lining up for the Bliss Orthodontics extra point. Jaden Tidwell is out there, as is Jonathan Yowell to hold. Waxahachie still making some substitutions here. They got some confusion. And the Cowboys coaches are trying to get something sorted out with the officials.
Yeah, we don't have a full explanation yet.
I don't think any coach is really happy with any official at this point here tonight. As there have been some penalties called both ways.
If a laundry company wants to sponsor us.
What was your key to the game? They're not listening to you, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, no freebies, but the original one was keep the flags clean or something like that. Basically keep the flags yellow. That was what it was. Keep the flags yellow, not yellow with a little bit of brown or green.
Both teams after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Coppell, number 11 and number 28. That's their first unsportsmanlike conduct foul in the game. Also, unsportsmanlike conduct on number 20 of Waxahachie. That player's been disqualified.
All right, so.
Number 20 for Waxahachie. Kate Tollison is disqualified.
Wow.
That is the headline coming out of that. Zingelman and McAfee both get penalties called against them, but Tollison is disqualified.
And he is one of the leaders in sacks and tackles. That's a big blow. And if the too deep is right, that means Caden Starr will have to jump in as a young sophomore in his place. Oof.
So there's still business to handle here after the Cowboy touchdown run for Zingelman. A 14-yard QB keeper. But Shane Tollison is now holding court with two officials in front of the Waxahachie sideline.
Not to toot my own horn, but you see why I always circle Coppell and Waxahachie now?
This has got more fight to it than last year's game
exactly.
did, for sure. That was exciting play-wise. This is exciting because you got all sorts of drama. All sorts of drama.
Delays, flags, ejections, oh my. Not that we want that every week, but definitely makes things different. I think we're finally sorted out here. Maybe.
Jade Tidwell's out there just trying to kick the Bliss Orthodontics extra point.
And guess what? The defense just stands out there even longer not getting on the field.
After the delay, the extra point is good. And so the Cowboys narrow the gap. They now trail by 3, 17-14. With 5 minutes and 36 seconds left to go, this is Coppell Cowboy football on the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboy Broadcast Network.
Do you feel your home is too humid and slightly musty? Do you have that room or side of the house you don't use because it's too hot or too cold? Do you have family members struggling with health issues or allergies? Then contact Energy Attic and transform your living spaces by transforming your attic. Energy Attic uses a 3-part energy reduction system to make your home or office as comfortable and energy efficient as possible, saving you money, reducing your carbon footprint, and improving indoor air quality. Who doesn't want to save money, breathe cleaner air, and sleep better? Energy Attic helps improve your home climate control, reduces those cold and hot pockets, makes it more comfortable throughout, and saves you up to 40% on your energy bill. It's fast and easy to schedule your free Energy Attic audit. Simply visit energyattic.com and fill out the form. Virtual appointments are available as well. Now is the time to get your project started. So let Energy Attic show you how much you can love the comfort of your home. Energyattic.com. Attic solutions to transform your life.
Cowboys pull within a field goal with that touchdown, and with 5:36 left to go, they trail 17-14. Jay Macklin's Cowboys scoring drive, 10 plays, 75 yards in just under 4 minutes. Zingelman with a 14-yard touchdown run, and that makes the score 17-14. Waxahachie. Eat, drink, and talk Cowboys football at Jay Macklin's. Short kickoff here, forcing the return. It goes through the hands of the returner, and the Cowboys have it. No, they're still loose. It's still loose. I think the Cowboys have it, but let's see. There was a special teams player. No, Waxahachie comes up with it. Whoa. Looked like the Cowboys had it because there was a player here, who was that, who just slid right over top of the football.
That was Isaiah Witherspoon.
Witherspoon had the best opportunity at it. He went diving in on that loose football and then slid right over the turf. He hydroplaned almost right over the turf and right over the football. Waxahachie gets it back. I apologize for the premature call that the Cowboys got it back, but it looked like Witherspoon was going to jump on it. Anyway, Waxahachie will have it at their own, well, that looks like the 15-yard line to me.
That ball does funky things.
5:32 to go. Meyer out there for the first time in quite a while. Little trickery in the backfield, the flip in the backfield, and motoring out past the 20 with a flag coming in from behind the play, which usually indicates holding. This is Zayden Smith.
I think it should be holding on Cohen Brown, actually.
Yep, it is. It's holding against Waxahachie. It's going to be a half the distance to the goal penalty. And, you know, we talk about guys and teams who are out there sitting and not on the field very long. Jerry Meyer and the Waxahachie offense has not been out there since late in that first quarter. When they threw the interception, that was the last drive they were out there when the Cowboys picked him off.
And the benefit for them is that their special teams has been doing the scoring, so they've been, you know, kind of chilling, if you will. But, yeah, still, they're coming out cold as well. I mean, they sat a while and have to try to get things back up and running for them.
Final 5 minutes of this first half, 1st and 18. Meyer is in the backfield, and they're going to ride him down. He's close to the goal line. Where did they get him? Did he get out? He did. He got out to the 2-yard line. He was able to keep himself out of the end zone, but a great job by the Cowboys defense to get back there. Credarius Uday made Meyer's life difficult there. And a big sack for the Cowboys, their first of the night.
That's what happens when you get to a quarterback who's not known for his mobility, as we see it on replay. just gets through the pressure, and Meyer had nowhere to go. Puts them back deep in the end zone.
So they're in the shadow of their own end zone here, the shadow of their own goalpost from their own 3-yard line. 4:20 and counting. Cowboys defense looking to tee off here. They bring everybody up to the front of the line. Meyer's going to take it himself. He's going to run it. He doesn't have a lot of legs here, and he gets it out close to the 10-yard line.
That's just get out of your own end zone and have yourself some space. That's all that is.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 19 to go.
And that was actually Bernard, the backup, who was there on that. So we see that definitely Nolan Bernard, the backup, seems like he comes in for those QB draw, short yardage if needed situations.
And I thank you for keeping me honest on there that Bernard came out there. They've used him now 2 years in a row in situations like that. 2 wide receivers to the right side, and a 3rd down and 19. Cowboys flinch, but I think they're going to call that on Waxahachie. Are they going to call him? No, they're going to be a timeout taken by Waxahachie. We saw the left end of the Cowboys defensive line flinch there and then whistle. So timeout Waxahachie. This team timeout brought to you by Frost Bank. At Frost, it's about award-winning service. When you have an account with Frost, you have a relationship with Frost. They're there to answer your call 24/7. Frost Bank member FDIC, equal housing lender.
With all the flags that have flown, it's not surprised you would predict a penalty was flown. No comment.
3:28 left to go, first half. Waxahachie in front, 17-14. It's been a wild first half. It has been a very interesting evening. We were delayed getting off the ground by over an hour by lightning in the area. There still is lightning in the area, but don't tell anybody that, please. And now the Cowboys defense have Waxahachie on their heels with a 3rd down and 19 from their own 7-yard line. Cowboys defense looking to come up with another big stop here. Last time Waxahachie's offense was out there, Dalen Montgomery came up with a big interception that the Cowboys turned into a touchdown. Cowboys drop everybody back into almost like a prevent defense scenario here. Meyer, quick pass to Cohen Brown. He doesn't have a lot of room to run. He's gang tackled at the 15, out to the 16. He's going to be well short of the first down. Cowboys defense comes up big there, and it's going to force a Waxahachie punt. Wouldn't it be nice if the Cowboys special teams comes out there and is able to return one to the house?
Maybe a little double dip. Maybe.
Yeah, Cowboys will have the ball to start the second half, and that could prove to be huge here.
Again, we love double dips in football. Don't do it in your own life.
That's your weekly PSA, isn't it?
We do not condone double dips unless you're a Coppell Cowboy scoring touchdowns and you get the ball in the second half.
2:50 to go here in this first half. Ball's at the 16-yard line. A 1-yard net gain on this drive. And another timeout taken by Waxahachie. This one brought to you by Bailey Orthodontics. From Invisalign to braces to early treatment for little smiles, Dr. Bailey will customize treatment for every smile in Coppell. Learn more about Bailey Orthodontics by visiting coppellortho.com. Waxahachie got on the board first with a field goal. Cowboys came back after an interception, turned that into a touchdown. Ensuing kickoff returned all the way for a touchdown by Waxahachie. Cowboys went 3 and out, punted, and allowed a punt return for a touchdown. Cowboys, on their last offensive possession, drove 75 yards on 10 plays, capped off by a Zingelman touchdown. That's where we are now, 17-14, with Waxahachie dropping back to punt.
Dalen Montgomery back deep.
Dylan McAfee back at midfield, ready to field this punt. Ethan Guillen is standing at his own 3-yard line, and the hat goes over his head out of the back of the end zone. It is a safety for the Cowboys. They get 2 and the football. Would you believe me if I told you I had a premonition that that was coming? Not necessarily on the punt. I thought the snaps for Meyer had been a little bit high tonight. Mm-hmm. And I thought there was going to be a chance one was going to go over his head or through his hands. Didn't happen to him. It happened to the punter, but we'll take it.
Well,
so no punt. Cowboys get the safety on the bad snap.
I will say, if anything weird that you don't normally see in the game, if you predict it to happen, this would be the game for it to happen with all the weirdness, delays, flags, got an ejection, now we have a safety. I mean,
makes it a 1-point game. That's all we need to know. With 2.5 left to go, the Cowboys poised to double dip. It'll be a free kick from the 20-yard line. The Cowboys will have a nice opportunity. They trailed just a few minutes ago, 17-7. It is now 17-16.
The great part is that's a score, as you mentioned, it's a score, and you get the ball. Hypothetically, if the Cowboys were to score fast somehow, then they give the ball right back to Waxahachie, try to get it back. Now they get some free points and then try to wind down the clock and get you at least a field goal. A field goal would give them the lead, but of course you want to get the touchdown. So free points and you get the ball. That's honestly best case scenario.
Use the clock here too.
Yeah.
Use the clock. Ian elects to put the ball on the tee instead of punting it. It's a short pop-up kickoff and let it go out of bounds. They do, and that'll draw a flag. So it goes out of bounds at the 33-yard line. That's important because that'll dictate where the Cowboys get it after the penalty yardage. So the Cowboys, with 2:35 left to go here in this second quarter, are going to get the football with an opportunity to take the lead. Coming up in the Whirly Ball halftime show, we'll have an interview with Sarah Isbell, the Booster Club president. We'll hear the Coppell band. We'll have the Performance Scores halftime stats, the Coppell ISD Athletes of the Week, and we'll introduce you to some of the new faces on the Cowboy roster this year. So that's all that is coming up in 2 minutes and 35 seconds of game time on the Whirly Ball halftime show. And we got to make sure that we give a heads up here to Kelly and Tom Herman, Lauren Stroud, and Jim and Sherma Isbell. Make sure you're listening and don't go to the fridge during the Whirly Ball halftime show. Our interview with Sarah is coming your way in just a couple of minutes. Cowboys, though, trying to finish off this first half with a scoring drive from the midfield stripe. Zingelman takes the snap under pressure, and he's got a big completion there to Rodriguez inside the 35 and out of bounds at the 31-yard line. There's a penalty flag back in the backfield.
My prediction, based on what I saw briefly, is maybe a chop block.
Oh,
that's a big one. That essentially negates the out-of-bounds kick.
Yep. Takes him back to the 35. Instead of being at the Waxahachie 30, they're going to be at the 30, their own 35 now. That's a big swing of 40 yards or 35 yards. Before that penalty, Coppell had racked up 6 for 60, so that should be 7 for 75, I guess now, if my math serves me right. So back to the 35-yard line, and now a first down and 25. 2:29 left to go, second quarter. Clock resumes. 3 wide receivers. Mack in the tight end. Zingelman keeps it himself. Loses what appears to be his mouth guard out to the 37-yard line, pickup of 2. These penalties, man, these penalties.
They'll head to the 2 minutes with 1 timeout as well, so you like to have all your timeouts, but only 1 left, so you'll have to be a little methodical with how they call these plays next.
2-minute timeout. We'll take it with them. 17-16, Indians in front of the Cowboys. The Cowboys with the football and driving. We head to the final 2 minutes of the first half. This is Coppell Cowboy football on the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboys Broadcast Network.
At Frost, it's about award-winning service. When you have an account with Frost, you have a relationship with Frost. They'll answer the phone when you call 24/7 right here in Texas, and they'll be there for you with a square deal and prudent financial advice and tools to help you with all the milestones in the years ahead. Frost is your corner and around the corner. Frost is expanding across the Metroplex, and they're committed to supporting the communities they serve. While other banks are closing locations, Frost is bringing their people from banking, investments, and insurance into more corners of the Metroplex. Deposit and loan products are offered through Frost Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Are you looking for your young athlete to take the next step? Then check out Performance Course, the #1 training program in the country for school-age athletes. Performance Course is an unrivaled approach to progressively improving athletic ability. This unique course combines sound, proven strength and conditioning principles with the latest methodologies in a dynamic training environment to give your athlete a physical and mental advantage over the competition.
Second down and long here, final 2 minutes of the first half, and a beautiful, almost a completion. And Nene had it in his hands at midfield and then dropped it on a beautiful bullet from Zingelman. And so this will bring up a third down and long, and so the Cowboys now go from potentially double dipping to possibly giving the football back to Waxahachie before the end of the half. That chop block penalty comes back to really haunt you here. You know, during that 2-minute timeout, the officials had a water break. They're the hardest working people on the field so far tonight. Empty backfield here for this third down and 23. Zingelman with no protection back there, has time, steps up, and he throws. It's complete out past the 45. Diving catch made by Ishan Mayer. And now you got an opportunity to milk some time here. There's 1:40 on the game clock and 31 on the play clock. So use every second of that.
Really about a minute.
You have a
and 9
timeout
seconds.
left. It is a 4th and 14. The ball is at your own 46-yard line. So we'll see what the Cowboys, they're likely going to tick down to the end of the play clock here and then call that final timeout. But let's see what they decide to do. There is no effort to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So I think that's exactly what they're going to do here. 3-2 and timeout taken by the Cowboys. Their final timeout of the first half. This one brought to you by Jay Macklin's Grill. Serving lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch. Eat, drink, and talk Cowboys football at the Casual Neighborhood Grill, voted to have Coppell's best patio. Stop by before or after the game to see for yourself. We'll see you at Jay Macklin's.
They still going to be open?
I don't know. It's taken a while. I just looked at the clock. It's 9:32 here. We're almost done with the game usually at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, going to have to perk ourselves up for the second half. We're getting, well, I'm old. You're getting older. Yeah, I think you tend to be up later than I am, though.
Yeah, I am a night owl. I am my mother's son.
Yep.
So being up past midnight, even on a work day, not abnormal. And I can operate off little sleep. Is it good for my health?
Nope.
No.
Well,
but can I do it?
Enjoy it while it lasts. 'Cause
I know.
There's going to be one day where that takes a turn.
And once a child,
it's just going to hit you.
Once a child gets involved, it's over for me.
Well,
Probably.
even that, not so much that for us anymore, but
Resuming play from the Cowboys'
it's just
46-yard line.
the body changes what it needs.
Yeah, bedtime by 9:30 will happen sooner or later one day.
And it will be glorious once you're there. You will love it. Jonathan Yowell on to punt for the Cowboys here with 1:08 left to go. Cowboys special teams needs to lock down here. Yowell, boot to ball, high, spiral kick. It's going to bounce at the 25, and it's going to trickle inside the 20 and out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So they got out to the 46-yard line. They lost 4 yards on the drive.
Yowell's punt is out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
And so exactly 1 minute left on the second half clock. And from the 18-yard line is where Waxahachie will take over. And they have one.
Yeah, they have one timeout. So they need to have a little bit of gusto with their offense if they want to get any kind of score. Being backed up this far and only one timeout in 1 minute exactly. That will run up real quick.
53 total yards of offense in this first half. Meyer, delayed handoff, running up the left side and out to the 20-yard line and wrestled to the turf at the 21. We'll see when they decide to use that timeout. I don't know that they're going to. They may be content with just running a couple of plays and running the clock down, seeing where they get.
Possible, yeah.
From the left hash mark here, Fieldhouse end. 38 seconds left on the second quarter clock. Again, handoff, protecting the football. Carrying it out past the 30 to about the 32, 33-yard line is Taylon Furlow-Strange. And they'll mark the ball at the 33 with 20 seconds left to go. Clock is stopped while they spot the ball because it was a first down pickup, but the clock now continues to roll. 15 seconds to go. Meyer takes the snap, and that's going to be a false start here. That's going to be a false start, I think, against Waxahachie. Somebody pulled out early, I think.
Run a couple plays and then try to catch the defense sleeping there. And, well, that backfires. And now you have to think they're probably just going to have to go to the locker room.
Let's see. Yep, it is a false start. Everybody but the center. That's always that's one of my favorites. Everybody but the center. And they go back to the huddle. Well, you think you're better than us?
Refs at halftime.
They have to take the timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff.
The refs in the locker room, man, you really said that, huh? Yeah, I did, because it's true.
Everybody but the center. This team timeout brought to you by JMC McDonald's, your locally owned Coppell McDonald's. Proudly supports the Cowboys. Make sure you download the McDonald's app and pick up your orders at the South Denton Tap Road location in Coppell, or have them delivered right to you. JMC McDonald's says, let's go, Big Red. I'm kind of surprised the Waxahachie is not trying to take a shot here of some sort.
You know,
knowing that Coppell's going to have the ball to start the second half.
I see where you come from, but at the same time, you did rattle off before they started that drive. 53 yards of offense?
Yep.
When you ain't got
I think you're up over 60. They've eclipsed 60 now.
When you don't have it, don't try to force it. And, again, they were trying to go a couple plays and then try to fake them out with one big play, see where that goes. And that penalty probably just killed that. We'll see. But I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, I don't like leaving timeouts, which they just used their last one, but they might take one more shot here just to see what happens. They appear to at least look like they're going to do that.
12 seconds on the clock. In the shotgun is Meyer. He rolls, he's waiting, he looks, he throws, and that one he throws away over the head of his intended receiver there. It's Jordan Smith as he was streaking towards the Waxahachie sideline. So 8 seconds left to go, and it'll be a second down and 15.
And an average play probably takes about 5 to 7 seconds. So
you're not going to get much more if you don't get anything. Out. If you don't get it here, you're not going to get anything. And I think, they're going to – looks like they're going to take a knee and take it to the locker room. That's exactly what they do here. The final 7 seconds of the first half tick off. And Waxahachie will take a 1-point lead into the locker room. They lead the Cowboys 17-16, but that is only the half of it. The Whirly Ball Halftime Show is coming your way next. This is Coppell Cowboy Football on the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboys Broadcast Network.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
For those with pure food indulgence, Anamiya's Tex-Mex is the place for you. Anamiya's uses the freshest ingredients in all dishes to offer you the best dining experience. Treat yourself to more than 50 menu choices from the classic to the creative Mexican dish. And not only is Anamiya's the best Mexican restaurant in Coppell, but they're also a top Dallas caterer. Located on the northwest corner of Denton Tap and Sandy Lake, remember, everyone goes home happy after eating Anamiya's. Anamiya's, where contemporary meets sabor. Online at anamiyas.com.
Hey, yo, student section! I'm here with your boy Cowboy Carl, and we need to tell you something. The Mix is a party that happens every Wednesday night at Fellowship Church for all students, and I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. Follow at The Mix FC for all the details, and go Cowboys!
Are you looking for your young athlete to take the next step? Then check out Performance Course, the #1 training program in the country for school-age athletes. Performance Course is an unrivaled approach to progressively improving athletic ability. This unique course combines sound, proven strength and conditioning principles with the latest methodologies in a dynamic training environment to give your athlete a physical and mental advantage over the competition. Check out the available Coppell ISD-specific courses online by clicking on the Coppell logo at performancecourse.com.
Homeowners in the DFW, listen up. Have you ever considered owning your own power by going solar? Well, my name is Dylan Olson with Infinity Solar USA. We are a locally owned and operated company to the DFW. We've helped thousands of homeowners become their own power company by going solar. We take pride in providing an amazing solar experience. Thanks to Champion Sports Radio, we've created an exclusive discount just for you. To get a free solar savings report, go ahead and give us a call at 469-868-5600. 4164. Infinity Solar, USA.
Do you feel your home is too humid and slightly musty? Do you have that room or side of the house you don't use because it's too hot or too cold? Do you have family members struggling with health issues or allergies? Then contact Energy Attic and transform your living spaces by transforming your attic. Energy Attic uses a 3-part energy reduction system to make your home or office as comfortable and energy efficient as possible, saving you money, reducing your carbon footprint, and improving indoor air quality. Who doesn't want to save money, breathe cleaner air, and sleep better? Energy Attic helps improve your home climate control, reduces those cold and hot pockets, makes it more comfortable throughout, and saves you up to 40% on your energy bill. It's fast and easy to schedule your free Energy Attic audit. Simply visit energyattic.com and fill out the form. Virtual appointments are available as well. Now is the time to get your project started. So let Energy Attic show you how much you can love the comfort of your home. energyattic.com. Attic solutions to transform your life.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Follow us on Twitter at Champion Sports, like our Facebook page at facebook.com/championsportsradio, or look for us on Instagram at Champion Sports Radio. Tell us why your team will win this week. Share when your favorite athlete is named Player of the Week, or brag about what your school alumni are up to now. That's on Twitter at Champion Sports, facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and on Instagram at Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
Back here at Buddy Eccles Field, Tom Dewar, Dakota Burke with you here, and welcome to the Whirly Ball Halftime Show. Life's a whole lot more fun when you're zipping around in a whirly bug. With 2 locations to serve you in Plano and in Hearst, they have the most affordable laser tag in town. Visit whirlyball.info for more. Waxahachie leads the Cowboys 17-16 here in a game that has really been a very unique affair, starting out with the hour-plus lightning delay. Waxahachie takes the field goal lead to start. Cowboys pick them off, turn it into a touchdown, and then let up 2 special teams touchdowns in a row. That made it 17-7 before Carter Zingelman punched it into the end zone on a 14-yard touchdown run to make it 17-14. Cowboys force a defensive stop. They force a punt attempt, and the snap for the punt goes through the hands of the punter and out of the back of the end zone for a safety. 17-16 here as we reach halftime. Cowboys trailed Waxahachie 14-0 last year when we were down I-35 in Waxahachie. So the Cowboys are in a bit of a familiar territory that way. But this has been a really unique game. I don't think we've seen anything we expected to see tonight, and a whole lot more.
And on top of that, Waxahachie defense lost one of their best players, Cade Tollison, leader in sacks. He got ejected after the Zingelman touchdown for some, extracurricular activity, if you will.
Don't you like that as a catch-all phrase?
It helps so much. Helps me avoid getting in trouble. But he's out of the game, so one of the leaders is out, so that might open a little bit of a gap there on a defense that's hard to find the gap. But, yeah, this is one of those games that, my job is to analyze. It really is hard to analyze when you've seen some of the funkiest stuff happen. Flags flying everywhere, lightning everywhere.
There's been a lot of yellow tonight. Flags and lightning.
Yeah, and then special teams touchdowns back-to-back. And at the end of it, it's 17-16. That's a kind of a funky-ish score. But Cowboys, look, they may be down 1. That just means they're still in it.
It's been a memorable game for sure.
Yes.
And let's talk a little bit about what we've seen from the Cowboys. Certainly special teams kick coverage has left something to be desired. But the Cowboys' defense has made stops.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys' offense, when given the opportunity to move the ball forward, unencumbered by penalties, the Cowboys' offense and Carter Zingelman once again looks poised, looks calm, looks collected, looks like a leader on the field, and he's able to get the ball quickly into hands of receivers that is neutralizing that pass rush.
Yeah, his passing touchdown, the one touchdown he has so far came on a pretty much all-out blitz, 8 men in the box. Waxahachie brought everybody in the kitchen sink, and Carter just took 3 steps, found Jacob Anene over the middle, quick release, touchdown, no problem, acted like it wasn't his first rodeo, and that gives the Cowboys the touchdown there. Listen, if you take out those special teams touchdowns, which we wish we could, this is at least a 16-3 ball game, maybe more, because the defense has only allowed, at least according to the stats, only 53 total yards. So they're doing their job just fine. There are some penalties that have been going everywhere for both teams. So,
I was going to say, we'll dive into the performance scores, halftime stats in a moment, but 13 penalties for 127 yards between the two teams. A lot of those were a 15-yard variety, or they were half the distance to the goal penalties, which instead of a 15-yard. But there were some personal fouls, and you mentioned the one that got Cade Tollison ejected. That was after the Zingelman touchdown, in which Zingelman and Dylan McAfee both got unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. You meant this is not a rivalry by any typical definition. Now this is the second time these two teams have met. But there's something going on between these two teams tonight for sure.
I think these teams will continue to play each other for the years to come, just because of how things have gone.
And this is it's become such a good litmus test for both teams.
Yes,
for both teams. All right. When we roll on the halftime show here, the Whirly Ball halftime show, we'll have our interview with Coppell Cowboy Booster Club, Football Booster Club President Sarah Isbell. That comes your way next. This is Coppell Cowboy Football on the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboy Broadcast Network.
At Frost, it's about award-winning service. When you have an account with Frost, you have a relationship with Frost. They'll answer the phone when you call 24/7 right here in Texas, and they'll be there for you with a square deal and prudent financial advice and tools to help you with all the milestones in the years ahead. Frost is your corner and around the corner. Frost is expanding across the Metroplex, and they're committed to supporting the communities they serve. While other banks are closing locations, Frost is bringing their people from banking, investments, and insurance into more corners of the Metroplex. Deposit and loan products are offered through Frost Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Johnson Management Company is an independent family-owned McDonald's franchisee serving North Texas communities since 1986. At JMC, they actively support their communities through their involvement with schools, youth sports, and local charities. Your locally owned Coppell McDonald's proudly supports the Coppell Cowboys and reminds you to download the McDonald's app for all the best deals. Place your pickup order at the South Denton Tap Road location here in Coppell, or if you can't make it in, have your favorites delivered right to you. JMC McDonald's says, let's go, Big Red.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Welcome back to the Whirly Ball halftime show. Tom Dewar, Dakota Burke here with you. The Cowboys trail Waxahachie 17-16. And time now on the halftime show to hear from the woman who makes so much happen for the Coppell Cowboy football team in terms of the Booster Club. She's part of the ads that you just heard running, and she is really one of the driving forces behind the community support of this team. We sat down with Sarah Isbell the other day to get her thoughts as we get underway this season. Sarah, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for sitting down with us. As we get this new season underway, it's kind of an opportunity to hear a little bit inside the Booster Club, what the Booster Club does and the community support for this football team. Let's kind of first start with your role and how you got into your role with the Booster Club and kind of what the Booster Club does.
All right. So the Booster Club really is a group that provides funding for the Coppell football program and support for the coaches because their day jobs, as we all know, are extremely busy trying to coach a team and win games. And so we really focus on all the fundraising, taking care of the kids when it comes to game day meals, team dinners, extra equipment. So if the coaches need to buy helmets, they certainly are not getting enough money through the school district to do stuff like that. So we're raising money to support those types of activities. And everything you see out here on Friday nights is really, a lot of it is the Booster Club, minus all of the great stuff that the band and the Lariats and the cheerleaders are doing. But we do a lot of the planning for the evenings, all of the theme events, all the special activities, and really work on the show flows for Friday nights as well.
Let's talk a little bit about how you got involved in this and why you got involved and how important is it to you as a football parent?
So I have one child in the program right now. My oldest graduated last year. He was in the program. And some of my close friends were involved in the Booster Club, and so they pulled me into it and said, you should come volunteer. And so
Isn't it neat how we as parents get pulled into this stuff when our kids are so involved?
Yes. And I thought it would be, I'm going to help here and there, and then all of a sudden I'm the president of the Booster Club. And I have a full-time job, and so this is kind of a full-time job on top of that, but it's worth every second of it because I sit out there on Friday nights and I watch how happy the crowd is and how supportive it feels, and I see what it means to my children as well.
Let's talk a little bit about the support that this team and this program has gotten, and that support seems to be increasing as the level of play on the field has increased. Talk to it from a standpoint of a parent who has seen this program kind of evolve a little bit over time, and what that support means to you as a football family.
Yeah, well, the first thing is my oldest son was a freshman when Coach Wiley joined the program, and he came in and he really created this community around football and around the Friday Night Lights. And so I have seen that community grow. It's expanded beyond the players and their families out into the community, and the outpouring of support and the commitment that everyone in this community has made to the program is just incredible. When you go ask people to donate or sponsor or support, there's never any questions. Everyone, in fact, I get contacted by people who haven't been asked to provide support for the program, and they're asking me how they can support our football team.
Give you an opportunity here to kind of shout out some of those sponsors and give an opportunity to say thank you to them.
Like Jay Macklin's here in town. They feed our varsity team every single week. They give us a great discount for that food so that all the families can participate in that. UT Southwestern is a huge sponsor for us. There's McDonald's here in town. Dr. Bailey is a huge sponsor and supporter of our program, and the list just goes on and on.
Lots of names that I've been reading over the 8 years I've been doing this. But as you've seen that support start to swell again, and especially attributed to the action on the field, translate that into what it's done for the school community, separate from the outside community. But what do you feel that it's done for your boys over time and within the walls of Coppell High School?
I feel like for my boys specifically, it really has created a sense of pride around where they live and their community. I think stuff like sports really bring people together. And so you see at these games just all walks of life, right, coming together, and they're one community and they're all cheering for each other. And you see it pour over into other sports too. And so when football season's over, you see it go into basketball, into wrestling, into soccer, all of the other sports here.
What does that say to you as an athletics parent? How does that make you feel when you're sitting out there at Buddy Eccles, or you're on the road with the team on Friday nights and hopefully making another deep playoff run? But how does that make you feel as a parent?
It makes me feel like I have a family here. I'm born and raised in California. We are, imports into Texas. We moved here about 6.5 years ago, and this program has really created a family for us. It's our Texas family, and so I sit there and I'm extremely proud of what this community does for our boys, and then extremely proud that my children are able to be part of that.
When you look at what Coach Wiley has done for this program and the excitement that he's brought, when you look at the 2025 team and what, as a Booster Club member, certainly, or as the president, what you want. This is a team that's in a bit of a transition year right now. A lot of graduating seniors after last year. What are you seeing? What are you hearing?
Just about the team in general, it's going to be an interesting year. So it's a very young team. So I think we had over 60 seniors on the varsity team last year who are all moved on at this point. So you have a team that's, very few people have ever seen the varsity field. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they perform. I know they're fired up. They are looking forward to a deep run in the playoffs, and I really hope they can come together and do it.
All right. We really appreciate your time this evening. Thanks so much for sitting down with us.
Thank you.
A couple of things, postscript to that conversation with Sarah Isbell, the Booster Club president for the Coppell Cowboy Football Booster Club. First of all, I could have sat there and talked with her all night. The passion that she has for this program and what she does and the sponsors in the community and what head coach Antonio Wiley has done here is just it's wonderful. It's infectious. But on another note, she did not know that we were going to air this interview tonight, and she used the word interesting in terms of the season. Man, did we pick
What
a
a
night
time.
to run this interview, because this game has been every bit of interesting and more. Another big part of Friday Night Lights for so many people are the marching bands, and the Coppell High School Band is taking the field right now here at halftime. 11 minutes until kickoff. Let's go down to the field and listen into the Coppell Band.
Sid Narayanan, Lucas Rodriguez, Rochelle Yalori, Vidushi Nalkonda, David Che, Maxine Cameron, and Zachary Brooks. Guard captains are Aryahi Ravi, Kate Sierra, and Kiara Sanchez. Percussion leadership is Emily Harriet, Jess Foster, Arnav Shrivastava, Sudarsh Mandarwood, Isla Elahi, and Shrihan Desari. Varsity members of the week are Claire Hodges and Grayson Watchman. Guard member of the week is Alfred DeBeery. Percussion member of the week is Taro Nishihara. Varsity section of the week is the Flutes. Tonight's performance will include the first two movements of their 2025 production featuring soloists Lucas Rodriguez, Shrithi Avanhula, and Kunal Katiyar. All right, Cowboy fans, let's welcome your Coppell Varsity Marching Band. The Coppell Band has been invited to perform at the 2026 The Coppell Band has been invited to
All right, the Coppell Band wrapping up here at halftime. Before we take a break, we need to handle a little business. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here at halftime from Coppell to fans around the world. This is Coppell Cowboy football.
You're listening to the home of the Coppell Cowboys, Champion Sports Radio.
and good night.
All right, halftime almost concluded, which brings the Whirly Ball halftime show to an end. When we come back, right before we kick things off, we'll have Performance Course halftime stats and the Coppell ISD Athletes of the Week, and we'll check in on some new faces as well. This is Coppell Cowboy football on the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboy Broadcast Network.
For those with pure food indulgence, Anamiya's Tex-Mex is the place for you. Anamiya's uses the freshest ingredients in all dishes to offer you the best dining experience. Treat yourself to more than 50 menu choices from the classic to the creative Mexican dish. And not only is Anamiya's the best Mexican restaurant in Coppell, but they're also a top Dallas caterer. Located on the northwest corner of Denton Tap and Sandy Lake, remember, everyone goes home happy after eating Anamiya's. Anamiya's, where contemporary meets sabor. Online at anamiyas.com.
Welcome to Bliss Orthodontics, where you'll experience the Bliss difference. Dr. Edau at Bliss Orthodontics is your leading Coppell orthodontist and has been serving the community for more than a decade. Bliss Orthodontics treats children and adults and can help you with braces, Invisalign, and even those affected by sleep apnea. Dr. Edau has more than 25 years of experience and has been named Best Orthodontist in North Texas by D Magazine. Bliss Orthodontics actively supports our local schools and sports teams, and they're a proud sponsor of Coppell Cowboys football. You can find them online at BlissOrtho.com.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Each year across the United States, young lives are lost to sudden cardiac arrest, and our communities are left to pick up the pieces. That's what happened in April of 2009 when Zachary Schraw lost his life to an undiagnosed heart condition after collapsing suddenly during a Plano East Senior High School football practice. After his death, Zach's loved ones knew it was time to take action to protect young hearts across North Texas from this silent killer. Since its establishment in 2009, Living for Zachary has impacted thousands of families by providing heart screenings for ages 12 to 22, donating AEDs to youth-based organizations, and training community members in the use of CPR, all with the goal of saving lives. Sudden cardiac arrest doesn't wait, so we can't either. Schedule your child's heart screening today, apply for an AED for your organization, or make a donation that could change a life forever. Together, we can give our children's hearts a second chance. Join the movement to save young hearts at livingforzachary.org today.
Welcome to Bliss Orthodontics, where you'll experience the Bliss difference. Dr. Edau at Bliss Orthodontics is your leading Coppell orthodontist and has been serving the community for more than a decade. Bliss Orthodontics treats children and adults and can help you with braces, Invisalign, and even those affected by sleep apnea. Dr. Edau has more than 25 years of experience and has been named Best Orthodontist in North Texas by D Magazine. Bliss Orthodontics actively supports our local schools and sports teams, and they're a proud sponsor of Coppell Cowboys football. You can find them online at BlissOrtho.com.
Welcome back to Coppell Cowboy football on the Coppell Cowboys UT Southwestern Broadcast Network. Tom Dewar, Dakota Burke here. We are waiting for it to become official, but we believe we're about to enter another lightning delay here as lightning is off to the north and northwest here of us. And Dakota, I know you've been looking at the radar here, and there's some stuff coming.
Yeah, this time there appears to be, obviously it's Texas, so weather could change in 5 minutes, but there appears to be a cell coming our way with actual rain, so that's a curveball in itself. And if the radar does not lie to me, it may be a minute before we get back started, if we do get back started.
I'll give you this observation, a couple of them here. Wind has really picked up.
Yes, big time.
Wind has really picked up, and the flags are blowing stiff here from east to west. And so there's that, first of all. Second of all, pretty much everybody's cleared out. The players who were coming out for Waxahachie went back into the locker room. The Coppell sideline the fans are still there. The student section is very much still there. The cheerleaders are on the field still, waiting to hold up the banner for the players to run through. So whether the news has not traveled to them or there's some sort of disconnect here, I don't know. Again, we have the lightning delay is not up on the video board. There is still a video that you hear playing. That is the horn to signal that halftime is over, but there are no teams out here to play. And I think they're going to wait for this video to finish playing before they officially announce that we are in a lightning delay.
And on top of that, I mean, now we have to ask the question if we even come back out to play, because this is a non-district game. Yep. The coaches could agree to say,
here
hey,
we are officially in a lightning delay now.
So it could get super late at this point when we get back started. And, for a district game, all right, we're going to play. But for a non-district, it's a little bit more lax than that. So.
Yeah, and again, if you're with us in the expanded pregame show, the first lightning delay we had tonight, you will remember we talked about the fact that we were in this situation, the third pre-district game back in 2023. The Cowboys were leading Keller Timber Creek, and they decided to call that game at halftime, and the teams never came back out from the locker room.
And there was
there's precedent.
And there was no delay, I don't believe, in the beginning of that game.
No, there was not.
Yeah, so.
There is precedent that could happen. In that case, as we talked about before, you can kind of manipulate and bend the stats any way you want because it is not necessarily an official game.
Yeah.
But we don't need to talk about that here and now. We don't need to talk about that here now. I tell you what we should talk about.
What should we talk
Let's talk about some new faces that you want to introduce us to
we got
on this Coppell Cowboy football team. We've heard their names, some of them already, but let's get to know them a little bit better.
Yeah, here's the first one, Jacob Benene. He's got the touchdown earlier in the half. He's not new to Coppell, but he's new to football because he was predominantly a basketball player beforehand. It's the young sophomore, by the way, Jacob Benene. And in my search, just to get some stats, get some background on him, I came across something very interesting. Came across a Facebook post from, I believe it was April of 2019. And Nene probably had to be in third, fourth grade at the time. And, it basically was like, Jacob Benene, class of 2028, had a fantastic outing at the blah, 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 blah basketball tournament. So people have been watching Jacob Benene since he was an elementary age basketball player. So I'm sure a lot of scouts hate it that he's playing football now, but hey, I'm not complaining. He was a point guard, by the way, in basketball. And with the abilities at point guard that you have to have, translates to good route running. And on top of that, point guards are usually the de facto quarterbacks of any basketball team. So I would say don't be surprised if he's a captain next year in his junior year and or his senior year for sure. Second face, Dylan McAfee. Heard his name a couple times. He's a transfer from Keller Central, 5'10", 180-pound running back who he's kind of a do-it-all, which if you can run, if you can catch, if you can block, you'll get a lot of time on the field. He's not going to juke you out of your shoes when you watch the film on him, but he's going to do just enough to make you miss. So think of we all know probably the most elusive running back is probably like a Barry Sanders. He'll juke you out of your shoes, right? Well, think of Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith was never going to make you look stupid out there on the field, but he would do just enough to get the yards needed to get the first down, the touchdown, whatever was needed. And I think Emmitt Smith did pretty well for himself, if you know, you know. He's a patient runner who uses his blockers, not going to get the ball and just, start jetting out running. He's going to let things happen in front of him before he takes off. But his most underrated ability is probably his blitz pickups and blocking. Saw a little bit of that against Saxe. He made a couple key blocks where he was able to give Carter Zingelman just a little bit more time over there in the pocket. So he definitely earns his minutes that he gets there on the field. And lastly, I mean, we got to shout out the special teams. Jonathan Yao, he is a new face. He has played on JV teams at Coppell. He's gone through the system. As I always say, death, taxes, and Coppell's going to have a great kicker. So when Jaden Tidwell graduates this year, Jonathan Yao will more than likely take the reins. Right now, he's predominantly a punter. We saw him on kickoff earlier. He's got offers from the University of Rhode Island, which is his only Division I offer right now, and also Fort Lauderdale down in Florida. But this kid's been busy. He's been doing camps at UNT, TCU, OU, et cetera, et cetera. He's a 4-star rated kicker and a 4-star rated punter, so he does both things very well.
Attention, please. We regret to inform you the inclement weather will stick around for longer than we would prefer. The decision has been made to call tonight's game.
And there's your breaking news as I was doing that.
Yeah, I'm glad I came back from the bathroom in time.
I'll finish this off real quick. He can hit field goals over 50 yards. He can hit 50-plus yard punts with 5 seconds of hang time, which if you ask any punter, that is kind of like the money time you want for hang time is 5 seconds. And as you just heard, this is going to last longer than we want. The game has been called.
Huh.
It's almost
We've
like...
been here before. Not that we know how to handle this.
Heck, it's almost like we said that like not that long ago. That was possible. Anyway.
Well, as I am often fond to say, Dakota.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot thank you enough this evening for your cooperation and your patience.
Please warn the affiliates we'll be ending early along the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboy Broadcast Network.
Thankfully, we've run so many ads today. We've paid the bills and then some, so that's taken care of.
We have. I hope that Sarah Isbell and the Booster Club get a little bit extra from that.
Hopefully.
So let's treat this as, I don't know, a scrimmage. But before we go, we need to give, as you gently reminded me by holding cards in front of my face here, that we have some honors to give out here.
Yeah, we're not going
some scheduling updates.
Yeah, we're not going to leave here without honoring some people. Well, first off, let's get to the schedule. Volleyball latest lost to Nolan Catholic 3-2, but they actually played against Life School Waxahachie earlier today and won that 3-2. So there's your breaking news, if you will. Varsity tennis, they defeated Little Elm 19-0. Not that I know what that means in high school tennis, but it sounds like they did a pretty good job. Varsity tennis, they'll be taking on Louisville on Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. And then tomorrow, I know it's a late night, put some extra espresso shots in your coffee. Cross country, South Lake 5K tomorrow at 6:50 a.m. at Bob Jones Park. If you are capable of getting a short sleep and attending that, do so. So for the latest schedules and scores, download the Coppell Athletics ISD app. And then also, last but not least, our Athletes of the Week. Coppell ISD Athletes of the Week. Tennis, just mentioned them. Tushar Pathuri of tennis. And tell me if you've heard this name before. I've been here 4 years. I think I've said her name every year, at least once. Not complaining, but Maya Easterwood of cross country. She is a star and then some. So those are your Week 2 Coppell ISD Athletes of the Week on a shortened, if you want to call it that, Week 2.
You know, if Maya Easterwood, we have to say her name anymore. She has to become part of AFTRA.
I think she needs to start paying us to say her name at this point.
She is now verged into sponsorship territory. And, ooh, that's a big lightning bolt out there. Don't you love stream of consciousness talking? So a couple of thoughts as you were reading that. How hypocritical is it for me to have counted stats from the Timber Creek game 2 years ago? The Cowboys were in front. And not wanting to count tonight's game.
Well,
I mean, personal stats for sure, but the win-loss.
You kind of have to.
According to whom? Because I said before, Dave, one outlet counted it, one outlet didn't. So,
I mean, look, I get where you're coming from. Here's the thing. Here's
and you have to understand, we're slightly punchy at this point because we've been talking nonstop now for 4 hours.
You're probably sick of hearing us. I hope not, but you probably are. I mean, we've been going on and on. But here's the thing. Just a programming note.
That's just getting entertaining at this point.
You will be out next week.
Yes.
I'm calling the shots, if you will. So, I mean, I'll probably throw in the stats and just say, asterisk, half a game was played, just to
So,
say something
so the
happened.
Cowboys' record now
is 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah, one
1.5.
One loss, half a loss.
So, but here's why I ask. If this is deemed a loss by anybody in any official capacity, that is Antonio Wiley's first pre-district loss as Cowboys head coach. He's 11-0. So is he now 11 1/2? 11 wins and a half a loss?
You know what? The more you talk, the more of a good argument you make. And now
that's a good argument.
Man, you know what?
I as far as I'm concerned, this is not an official game.
You know what? I don't get paid enough to make that call, so I'm not going to make the call. I'm just going to shut up, read the papers, what they say, call the game, and do my job.
We've read enough papers, and I think we've taken up enough time from the listeners here, and I think it is time for us to say a big thank you to all of you who stayed with us through the first delay and then through halftime. And at least the band got to play. At least you got a taste of it. No money back, though. We can't refund your entry for this. We do appreciate you for joining us. And as Dakota said, I'm out next week. Dakota is here as the Cowboys will be right back here at Buddy Eccles Field.
Hopefully no delays.
And they will take on the Arlington Bowie Volunteers. So 17-16 is the score. The Waxahachie Indians went into the locker room with the lead at halftime, and that's all we'll say after that.
There you go.
So for Dakota Burke, the Storm's moving in. This is Tom Dewar. I'll see you in a few weeks after the bye week. Dakota will be here next week. Thank you so much for joining us for this abbreviated version of Coppell Cowboy football on the UT Southwestern Coppell Cowboys Broadcast Network. Warn the affiliates will be ending early, and good night, everybody.